What's up, guys? Episode 44 of Video Rot. It's weird to say episode 44 because it feels like, wow, it's just going by so fast. I feel like we just started Video Rot, but it
I know,
feels that
man.
way because we just named it. But yeah, episode 44. Today we were going to, after we're done just sort of shooting the breeze, we'll talk about what's new. If we watched anything new, acquired anything new. Of course, we're going to have our normal. This week is Todd. He's going to do the Name That Kino segment. He's going to try and challenge all of this. We've got the Choose Your Destiny. We'll end with that. Hopefully, he's bringing the game today. And, and then, of course, we're going to have a meat topic, which is going to be something that it's so funny it hasn't come up yet because we always talk about this movies that aren't on freaking 4K, man. I don't
Yep.
understand it. There's so many questions. Todd, I have to remind you, you are on that mic. Just make sure, just ease the tension, baby. Ease the tension.
Ease it on someone else.
Ease the tension. Like it doesn't. You don't have to make out with it, right? You just
Yeah, I
hang
don't know.
back.
I'm just used to getting them close, man.
He's like
Who I
three
am.
times louder than me.
Yeah.
It's just no. Anyway, so well, we're going to talk about that because we both compiled a list. I didn't really compile a particular number. I just was just shooting all the
I
ones that I
same
know.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll just kind of see where that goes. But before we get rolling, I want to remind everybody. I don't know where you guys are watching us. We're everywhere these days. You can't afford not to be everywhere these days. Remember back in the day where it's just like people had a YouTube channel? No. Now you have to be on Twitch. Now you have to be on Facebook. You got to be on Instagram Live. You got to be. We're on Rumble now, is what I'm trying to say. And we're finally on that bandwagon. We're streaming there right now. I think we got a few people watching. Todd's kind of keeping better track of that than I am,
We
but
got
just want
eight
to say
people in
welcome,
there. What's up, guys?
dude. Welcome, please. If you guys are on the Rumble watching, give us a follow, man. Follow Video Rot. We're gonna go live every single week. Which, by the way, let me put that banner up so you guys know when we're going live. But let me tell you, it's not going to help
We
because
we need to change that banner.
well, look, we need to, we no, see, Todd's the one that told me Tuesdays worked. And it's like right after that, he's like, well, that's the day we go to the gym. We stay a long time. Like, then why tell me Tuesday? Well, it makes no sense. If
If
it's,
I can go back, I would say Thursday because
we
Thursday's the
could, we could,
perfect day.
we could switch to Thursday if you want.
Okay, I
Are
could
we,
commit 110% to Thursday.
are you sure? Because now
I am 100%,
the only good
110%.
thing about doing Tuesdays is we have that Thursday buffer. If we miss Thursday, we don't have it really much buffer anymore.
I never have anything going Thursday, and I
Okay,
only go to the
okay.
gym Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So
All right. So, you know what? We will change that. No big deal. So now it's going to be Thursdays because this is all
official,
added.
yes.
All right, good. So that's settled. Um, what's new? What's been going on? I heard before we started recording, you still haven't watched John Wick yet. Now,
No.
Riverman's coming to visit in a couple weeks. Part of me was kind of hoping he just would just wait and we can watch it again, but it sounds like he's not going to do that. When are you going to watch it? I was hoping we're going to at least talk about it
Well,
today.
I was gonna watch it tomorrow. See, I was telling Denise the only reason I haven't watched it yet is well, I got it on like what Sunday afternoon. It's 3 hours long, so for me to commit to a 3 hour movie, it has to be on the weekends. So I was waiting until Friday. No distractions, no kids, no nothing. So I can actually sit there and have it'll have my full attention. Let's just say that.
It
So
doesn't feel like 3 hours. It goes
oh,
by
I know,
real
I know.
fast.
I bet it doesn't. Yeah,
It
a
goes by
lot of
real
those don't.
fast because it's just pretty nonstop action. I mean, there's like the down scenes, but it's not long before they rope you into another like heavy, extended action sequence. John Wick plays out like a ballet. It's so choreographed and so it's like a dance. You're watching a crazy dance, and I'm looking forward to chat. Maybe we'll have to talk about it next week then.
Yeah, let's do it next week because I mean I've been looking forward to this and I've been hearing nothing but great things about
I
it.
was
People are saying
telling,
it's better than the first one,
yeah,
first
no, it's the
two.
best.
So
It's the best. Oh, I thought the third one was the best
third
one
one's
at that
great.
point.
I like the first and third, but yeah,
But the fourth one's the best. And I was
yeah.
telling my mom that I think there is a sequence in this that is in the top best action scenes of all time.
Mm.
Because like it goes toe to toe with Rambo with the mowing down everybody in that marsh where it's just like
Yeah,
raw meat flying in the air. That's one of them.
50 cal.
Oh, it's awesome. And then the granddaddy of them all to me is always going to be the semi chase scene in T2. That's the
Yeah,
granddaddy.
yeah.
But there's a scene in this, even though there's like a million of them, like every action scene in this movie stands apart. It's very unique. It's very memorable. but there's one in particular that, and I wonder. I'm not even going to say it because I wonder once you watch it if you'll agree. I'm just going to ask you what your favorite scene was, and I bet you
Okay.
it'll be the same one.
Okay.
But aside from not watching John Wick, what have you watched?
I watched. I think I might have sent you a name that Kino just out of the blue the other night.
Mm.
I did the same thing with my brother. It was Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, which I
Which I've
love
never
that movie.
seen. Which I've
Really,
never seen. No, I've still never watched it. I know you've always been obsessed with it, but I just never watched it because A, I don't like Kevin Costner,
it's
and
corny '90s, but man, it's so much nostalgia to me. It's oozing off the screen.
but yeah, one of these days, and I saw it, and I'm like, is that looks like Kenny Powers? I was like, it looked like Your Highness. It looked like, and I'm like, but instantly after I said that, I'm like, well, it's got to be Robin Hood because I've never seen the movie, and that's the only movie Todd would show me that looks like it was from that period. What are you looking for?
Well, I was looking for the actual. Oh, here. So I watched this Arrow 4K that came out probably like what 3 months ago, I think. Finally got around to watching it, and
Oh,
it looks fantastic, of course. But it's just like one giant cock tease, because in the original VHS version, they have the Brian Adams music video at the end of the credits, where it's the music video of him in the forest, walking around in the forest, which was only on that one VHS, and I was hoping it would be on this 4K. Like they throw it in a special feature, which they
mhm.
did throw a music video in there, but it was just a live performance, where just some random performance where he didn't really give a shit about. He was having the crowd sing the whole song for him. So I was very disappointed in that. But other than that, it's a very cool release.
I mean, if only there was a video platform where Todd could watch that video in 2 seconds.
The only way you can watch it is if you're watching somebody watch it on their VHS player.
But I'm just saying, just watch the Brian Adams music video on YouTube. Why do
Oh
you need
God,
the
I'd love to
credits?
have it as a special feature, man.
But
It's just something about it. I don't know. It brings me back to 1990.
so what are you gonna do? You'd rather pop in the special feature, which will be regulated to like a Blu-ray disc that you'd have to put in a whole separate disc to
No,
watch the
this is
special
one
features.
disc. This is one disc.
Okay, still though, you know how quick it would take to just go on your phone on YouTube and look up
I
Brian Adams, anything
Yeah, but if that thing gets pulled off of YouTube for some
but it
demonetization,
won't.
I'll
What are you
never be able
talking
to see
about?
it.
It's Brian Adams has a YouTube channel. What year
It's
is this,
it's
Todd?
a certain music video that was only on the VHS.
Is it not the official music video? Because that's the
No,
one where he's walking
no,
around in the woods, right?
no. This is different. So this
Whatever
is
you
the
say,
ending
Grandpa.
credits music video. That's how obsessed I was with this movie back in the
They're
'90s.
totally different. It's not the
Yes.
commercial music video.
No,
Oh, okay.
I don't believe so.
I think you might be wrong. But anyway, we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. What else have you gotten? I saw that you had finally gotten your copy of The Changeling, the second sight
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah, I did get the Changeling, which I haven't watched yet, but I'm going to. Um, because coming off of what did we watch? Hunting of Julia recently, and you were
Yeah,
telling how similar the tone was to it.
yeah.
So
They're
yeah, so I pre-ordered that a few months back, and I've been really looking forward to watching it finally.
The Changeling, Haunting of Julia / Full Circle, and Don't Look Now are very similar movies. They're all very similar thematically. I would say The Changeling and Full Circle are very similar. Like literally down to they both have a protagonist that lost a kid and they both relocate and acquire a new place of living, and said locations are haunted with the apparition of a kid. Like, I mean, they have different backstories and stuff other than that, but the setups are like George C. Scott is like a conductor. He's like a different job. He's music, and
Mhm.
he takes a job at a university or whatever. And for some reason, on his salary, he's able to rent like this giant Victorian mansion. Makes no fucking sense, but it's a great set. It's definitely a much cooler set than the Haunting of Julia apartment or whatever she's living in. Um, but yeah, they're both very, very, very good.
As I've been getting
And
older, I've been getting more into like more atmospheric horror. So just that whole, I don't know, that scares me a lot more than the whole, practical effects, which I still love and everything. But
I would
um,
say the Changeling is even slower though than Full Circle. So, it
okay,
may or may
okay,
not be someone's cup of tea in that
yeah.
sense, but they're both slow burns. Um,
Well, it's the same thing with Amityville Horror. I mean, people shit on that movie all the time, which I don't understand. I love it. I think it's a great movie. But
Who shits on it?
a lot of horror fans do not like that movie. They're like,
I
"Oh,
don't.
two two's the best," which two is good. Don't get me wrong, but one has its place.
I I love two as well, but that's like the hipster response to say that's like saying Halloween 3 is the greatest movie ever now.
Yeah,
Like, all
yeah.
right, where were these people 20 years ago, 30 years ago? And and even if you've now grown an appreciation for Halloween 3, let's not pretend that it's better than the original, as
Everybody
great as
hated
it
it.
is.
Yeah.
No, I think The Possession is a fantastic movie, but and that's more exciting to talk about because it is a little more niche, but the first movie is the best movie. And The Possession, I've been on record as saying this a lot. That movie could use a re-edit bad. So it's the editing is what's keeping it from being flawless because it's not. Like they should have told the story and resequenced the scenes to be told like a movie, like Interview with the Vampire, right?
Yeah.
They have
Yeah.
the whole build up, the whole house stuff and the murders. All that stuff ends like after the first 45 minutes. And then like the last half of the movie is him in custody, right? And trying to talk and then he escapes and they should have started the movie with him in custody because we already knew the story anyway. They had already kind of told this story in the original Amityville talking about the DeFeo murders, et cetera, et cetera. So it's not like they're spoiling anything. They should have started it out with them interrogating him and getting his story and all that stuff. And then he should have been narrating it. And we should have got the movie we got spliced throughout the movie as he's telling it. And instead of getting 45 minutes of boring interrogation shit at the end, it would have been so much better paced if they just spliced that throughout the movie, if you know what I'm saying. And then just like Interview with the Vampire, where it kind of culminates to Christian Slater driving away from the interview, and then Lestat's in the back seat and all that stuff. They could have did the same thing. It could have ended with him escaping and then them chasing him down to the church and the fire and all that stuff. It would have been perfect. Like literally, they don't have to change the movie; just resequence it. That's all they had to do. But anyway, I digress.
Other than
Uh,
that, man, what about you?
what have I watched? I'm gonna look. Probably a couple of no brain stuff. We still haven't been watching too many movies, but I have watched a few more in the last couple of weeks. What have I watched? Mm, I watched the Assault on Precinct 13 remake.
Oh, how
Um,
was that?
I
Is
mean,
that
it was
Ethan Hawke in
Ethan
that? Is
Hawke and Lawrence Fishburne. It
Oh,
was
Lawrence
okay.
Fishburne was in that.
It
Never
was
saw that.
okay. I'd say it was a 6 out of 10. It's not the original. The original's
Speaking of movies that need to be on 4K, that's one there. Not the
they're gonna get
remake.
they're gonna get to all the Carpenters. You kidding me? Shout Factory's gonna
They
put them all
better,
out.
yeah.
Even though Assault on Precinct from Shout, did that get a release? And if so, I didn't get like a collector's edition.
I don't know if I got. I never bought it because I've been waiting for the
Oh, you know what? It
4K.
did. It did because I have the steel book. So it did. It did
Oh,
get a
okay.
collector's. All those Carpenters are gonna get 4K releases.
Yeah.
Me and the lady watched Enough with Jennifer Lopez.
What's that about?
It's about a woman that's had enough. She's got like a stalker,
Enough
abusive
what?
ex-husband.
Oh,
Enough
okay. I
bullshit.
like those. I like those stalker movies.
Yeah, it was good. It
Those
was like
peeping
a
tom voyeur movies.
you know what it was? It was like a Lifetime movie of the week, but with a budget,
Hmm.
right? About the battered spouse and the guy's like, if I can't have you, no one will, and he's like finding her wherever she goes. It's just the whole thing. And then I watched The Cat of Nine Tails, which I still had never seen, and because I had picked that up. I think somebody gave that to me for Christmas. I don't
Okay.
remember who bought it for me. I think maybe it was like maybe actually not this previous Christmas, but the Christmas before. Somebody bought that for me, and I finally watched that, and it was good. 6 out of 10.
Yeah,
It's not a top Argento, but it's good. I
it's
liked
one
it.
of the weakest ones out of the Animal trilogy, but
Blanco watched Baby Driver the other day. Not terrible. 5 out of 10. I saw Baby Driver in theaters, and I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was a theater movie for me too because I liked the soundtrack. Um, what's it called? Why can't I think of his fucking name, man? Edgar
Ryan
Wright.
Gosling. Oh,
No,
Edgar Wright.
no, not Driver, Baby Driver.
Oh shit. Okay, yeah,
The
Baby
Edgar
Driver.
Wright movie,
Yeah,
right? Shaun
yeah.
of the Dead. Edgar
John,
Wright
yeah.
has a certain type of style of filmmaking. All his stuff is very integrated with the soundtrack, and he also has a fascination with Queen. It's like Queen is all over the soundtrack, so it's like it's a big part of the action, right? Think about like Shaun of the Dead when they're playing "Don't Stop Me Now"
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
going with it.
Mm,
Baby Driver is like that on crack.
yeah.
Um, and but I enjoyed it. That movie also stars Jamie Foxx, who we all know is dead right now.
Yeah, I did hear about
Kidding?
that. That's sad. R.I.P.
No, he's not really dead. What?
Wasn't he brain dead?
Oh, Todd, look at you spreading the fake news. I was
Well,
being
I didn't
facetious.
know. I didn't
I
know.
was
I
being
heard.
facetious, and Todd was busted. Yeah, I heard about that sad stuff. Oh, your friend Josh? He's dead. Like that never
Oh,
that never happened. Look, no. It's just like the rumor because like he had that like that episode and he got rushed to the hospital like a month or two ago, and nobody's heard from him. And like there's all the cryptic stuff online, like oh Jamie's fine. It's like oh let's see him. We want to see his face, and everybody's speculating that he's not. He's like brain dead or whatever. And then there's people who've been saying like oh he's yeah he had like some kind of brain stroke aneurysm and he's not. It's just this crazy thing going on, and yeah I don't know. It's like if
who knows? Yeah.
what's going on with him? He's like. And everybody, I remember it was funny. No one had heard from him. Then, as a response, there was like an Instagram like story where it was just some general like, "Thanks for all the love, guys," with like heart emoji, and it's like, "Oh, Jamie's fine."
Oh, that
That
was him. Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
that
He's in the
wasn't.
hospital dead. I'm doing great, guys.
And then like his daughter was saying, "Oh, my dad is okay. He's actually out of the hospital. He was playing pickleball last week." I'm like,
Really?
"No,
I thought
dude,
he.
it's fucking. It's
Okay.
bullshit."
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
bullshit. That's why it's so weird. Yeah, the rumor is that he's blind and paralyzed and all kinds of stuff. But I get it. Somebody could just be wanting privacy and not want to show themselves in that state. Like I get it, especially if they're an actor and they're a face. Maybe they don't want to show themselves looking a
But you
certain
don't have
way.
to show him. Just tell people the
But
truth.
but if he was out playing pickleball, you'd think Jamie Foxx the first thing he'd want to do. I'm sorry, as an
I'm
actor.
okay, guys.
Yeah, no, as an actor, wouldn't you want to pull a Jeremy Renner and
Yeah,
use
yeah.
it. Like, I mean, Jeremy Renner, like he said, he got hurt, and guess what? He went on like a promotional trail, and he did a Diane Sawyer interview,
No, he's a
and now,
hero, dude. He saved that
yeah,
kid,
I
his
get it.
nephew.
That's different, a little bit different, but still, it would still be good PR, right, for Jamie Foxx to come out and be like, hey guys, I'm okay and whatever. Why are they keeping it so mum? It's so weird. It's almost like Weekend at Bernie's. Like, are they going to start propping up a dead Jamie Foxx? And just like, how long are they going to like go on with this facade? Yeah, Blocko. Yeah, there's brain blood clot from the vaccine. That's the one angle a lot of people are going, and that's the angle they're also saying like, I mean, I'm not going to get political on the show, but that there's a bunch of people that are saying that, and then which they're saying would give them incentive to like stay hush about it, as if they could prove it anyway. Even if it was like, it's not like you can prove it. I mean, just shit happens. I don't know, but regardless, that's another tangent we went off on Jamie Foxx. But all the best. Hopefully he's okay. Let's see. What else did I? Is that all? I think that's really all I've watched. Other than that, we've been still finishing up Bosch, dude. I'm on the last couple episodes of that. Really taking our time with it, but be
That's a
sad
great
when
show, man.
but you only watch one season.
2 seasons. Yeah, it's a good show though.
There's more to it though.
But there's only
Um,
just so much television I can watch, like those series. I mean, unless I actually physically own them or a series I've seen multiple times, it's like I don't know. It's hard for me to get through a lot of those.
Okay. Well, is there anything else besides movies or whatever? It didn't. Have you gotten anything, or is there any life updates? Anything you want to talk about? Anything grinding your gears? Anything pissing you off? This is your venting department.
Yeah.
Just let it
So
out. What's
so
upsetting you?
okay. So last week we talked about my woodpecker problem,
Uh
and we got that taken care of. Knock on wood for the time being. So we had a pest control guy come out and basically go through our attic and make sure that they weren't burrowing in our attic.
hmm
Thankfully, they weren't. So they got that all patched up with like metal and stuff on our wood siding. It looks kind of ghetto, but who cares? They haven't come back. So there was multiple woodpeckers that were destroying our siding in our house, and got that fixed up. So then I call a contractor trying to get them to come out and look at my siding so I can get new siding for like hail damage or something. Like I want him to see if there's any hail damage so I can get new siding. And basically, the guy told me I was screwed. He's like, the chances of them covering siding is like they don't do that like shit unless you have like a giant stick like coming out of your wall from a storm. So basically, I'm screwed on that. I'm gonna have to replace some boards on my house eventually. Not right now because it's not that big of a deal, but we got everything patched up on in our siding. So that, and then dealing with dealing with dentist appointments with my kid, but he's doing great. So everything's going pretty good this week, man. It's crazy, crazy busy with work, but I'm pushing through it. I was saying earlier, I didn't know I had Monday off for Juneteenth. I guess it's a trading holiday, so none of the stock market's not open. So
Oh.
I'm off. So I am very excited. I don't know what
So
I'm
why do you
doing.
guys follow like the trading? It wouldn't just be like a federal holiday. It's a federal holiday. Like, do you guys go off federal
We go
holidays? Why'd you
no, we
say
go the trading schedule
why?
because we work with the financial advisors at my
Oh,
current
okay.
job. So yeah, we're big on the
Nice.
stock market. So we base everything on the stock market.
I have to work. It's funny. We got a new holiday, but we didn't get it. Like, we're not getting. They're not giving us a a day off for it. My job. We don't even get Easter off, and um we don't get Veterans Day off either.
See,
I work.
We got Good Friday off. We didn't. Of course, Easter's always on Sunday. So
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I wish we got them all off, but what's new with me? You can't tell. I was almost going to apologize for the war zone in here, but it seems that I'm covering it all up with my chair. But if I were to move, I got like stuff all in this room because I've been basically the room that you stayed in when you were here.
yeah, yeah.
It's got that walk-in closet.
Hmm.
I gutted it and I'm having to like disperse everything that was in those closets and put them in other closets and stuff like that because I've been um turning it into a sound booth.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I'm gonna start. Yeah, so I've got like all the 2-inch foam all over the walls. I'm almost done. I gotta treat the ceiling, and I've got like a mini desk that'll serve as like my station where I'm gonna have my laptop. I was telling you I want to justify the cost of my laptop. I've got a little station there where I can put it in tablet mode and keep it there for whatever scripting I need or whatever. I've got I already have most of the equipment, which is great. That was just going to waste. I have like a Rode NT1 that I replaced this with, but the Rode NT1's an awesome mic. It's just a really hot mic, and depending on the room I was in, man, I just wasn't. It was just like bouncing all over off the walls. But when I could get it to sound good, and I was in a treated enough room, it sounded great. It actually sounded better in this mic, if I'm honest, even though this is a more expensive mic. But now that I'm going to be in the treated space, it's going to sound awesome. So I already have another boom arm. I'll have to show you the pictures of once it's all done. It's looking pretty sweet, man. It's looking pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Of
that reminds me. I had a question for you. Do you get into hot water with your old lady for like having the music up too loud?
mm-mm,
Like, does she work? Oh, she doesn't work from home though.
mm-mm.
Okay. I get my old lady yells at me because like I have just like a bookshelf speaker system for the turntable, and she's like, I could hear that bass clear across the house. I'm like, you freaking kidding me? It's up to like 32. Like, barely hear it.
Jeez, Todd,
Um,
what are you gonna do about that problem? I'm
so
just
I was
kidding.
thinking about putting some foam up, some eggshells up in my basement, just to kind of block the noise bass out. Do you think that that would work? Should I do that
I
on the
don't
ceiling?
I don't know how much it's gonna work. See, um, I mean, it might work a little bit if you put some padding on the ceiling because the sound travels up. But the
Yeah.
thing is I'm not soundproofing it. I'm just acoustic treating
Well, that's why I don't need to soundproof it. I just need some sort of getting rid of the bass
because like all maybe yeah I
because I can't listen to it with no bass. I mean, come on, it's like
I
a
don't
little.
know. I don't know the science behind it because, like, when people like acoustic treat, it's just for the sake of not having stuff bounce around, right? Because
Okay.
you want to get a crisp, dry recording, and because like foam, people they sell the acoustic panels. The acoustic panels are just foam, and some people that don't know any better think that I'm soundproofing. No, look, this is foam. Like
Yeah,
foam
yeah,
doesn't soundproof. People have always put foam. Back in the old days, your speakers would have foam, right?
yeah, yeah.
It's just so it's for the sake of that. So like I live near Luke Air Force Base. If a jet's going above my house, it's not going to block that out. So I'm going to do anything I do to record. I'm going to do it at night, so it won't be a problem. But yeah, I don't know. I'll show it to you. It's really sweet. When you guys come over, because Todd's coming to stay here in a few weeks. It's so funny. I'll show it to you, and it'll be like the Billy Madison outhouse, like in his tent, where it's just like the porn playing and all the stuff, like that. That
Yeah, yeah.
that came with the tent. I'll be like, this is my whack off closet. It's like you'll just see like a laptop in there and stuff like that, like mood light.
Gross
No,
box of Kleenex, dude, with a bunch of used ones on the floor.
no, but it's really cool. I'll show it to you. I want to get more into doing voice stuff and doing stuff even for our videos. So I just want to like get some practice in. So if anybody out there wants me to read some scriptage, I don't know if Will's in the chat. I know he makes videos. Hey man, throw them at me. You want to throw me some script stuff and you want me to do any readings? I'll do it. I'm gonna like try and practice as much as I can and fine tune everything. But
I think
I'm
you
always
should like record some cover songs of like maybe Brian Adams. Everything I do for
Glenn
you.
Campbell all day long, my friend.
Okay, whatever.
Oh, Wichita
We
Lineman.
talk about Glenn Campbell every week now. Seems like.
I love it. We're gonna do some we'll do some Gordon Lightfoot, some Glenn Campbell, be all good. How's the Blocko? How's the pre-production going? Dude, it is a headache. It is by far the hardest thing that I've had to do. And I know I'm not even at the hardest part. It's just it's true what they say. It's all about money, man. It's all about budget. It's like, yeah, if I had infinite funds, it would be no problem. People will work for money. Money talks. Money leads the way. But when you're working on a limited budget, it just gets so tricky. You're having to deal with people. You're asking people to come down on their rates. You're asking some people to work for free, depending on what it is. You got to feed people. And today I decided that we're rewriting the script to accommodate location because it's just too hard getting the kind of house that we need. We already lost one house because that was the big thing. I had a location, I had it all locked in, and then those people dipped out on me and ghosted me. And that's also part of the stress. It's like when you're doing a low budget film, you're kind of going off the honor system that people aren't going to screw you over.
Yeah.
And so I lost a house. That was the biggest thing. So now it's like, well, if I don't want to lose my shooting date and all that stuff and all these other people I have on board, I got to do something. So I had to rewrite the script to accommodate for a one level, right? Which will be a lot easier to find.
Yeah.
And it just is. It's a headache, man. Right now, the plan is to third week of July to shoot. We're actually going to have a meeting this weekend to discuss if we have to move it again, but we don't want to. But we'll see. It's
When's
a
your
headache,
plan to
though.
shoot as of now?
What do you mean my plan with the camera? What's that?
Do you have a date where you plan on shooting?
We were going to shoot from the 21st of July to the 24th, but
Okay.
now since there's some things that have changed, just budgeting wise, and we're gonna have to find a new location. We're gonna have a meeting Sunday to kind of see if we can still do that date or if we need to adjust it by a week or two. I don't know. We're still figuring it out, man. But it's gonna happen. And at this point, I think we have to renegotiate the pay and the offers and stuff like that. And I hate it because we have to renege on some stuff. Like some people that we were going to offer money, we have to kind of go back at it and be like, hey, remember that money we had? Well, we don't have it anymore. So can you
Yeah.
come down or work for free? We can't do that with everybody, but we're going to try and do that where we can. It's hard having those talks and just wheel and deal. And then we'll probably take all the money I have to do it and at least get principal photography done, get in the can, and then we'll probably have to run a crowdfund campaign after it's filmed
Yeah.
to try and like cover to get some post stuff done. It's just the way it is. It's so freaking hard, man. But at least if we do that, we'll have uh, stuff to show, right? We'll be able to cut a trailer and all kinds of stuff, and maybe we'll get somewhere with there. But
Hmm.
it's a headache. Long story short, Blocko, you guys should do a show from Aaron's. Hey Mendoza, don't be sorry. This is just the headache I signed up for, and this is the headache everybody deals with. It's just part of it, man. So I just want to see it through. It's just stressful. It's just really, really, really stressful. But this is how they're all done. So we'll get it done. Like I said, hopefully you guys are here for me when I launch a crowdfund campaign. Anyway,
Yeah, that
regardless.
reminds me. Do you want me to bring some of my equipment down when I come, like my mic?
Well, yeah. So Blanco was saying you guys should do a show from Aaron's. I would say yeah, but you guys are only staying so long,
Yeah, yeah,
right? I mean, if you really want to make time to do something, you can, and we'd have to do it late at night when
yeah.
when like your wife is sleeping. You know what I mean? Like we'd have to make the time basically
Oh, we
where
can
we
do that.
can.
I mean,
So if you want to
I
bring,
stay up late anyway. I mean, do you have a like a mic stand
I've
for
I've
these?
I've I've got mics. I've got. Or you want to bring that?
Well, I didn't know if you wanted me to, or if you have a mic that I can use, then that's fine. I just
I've got table stands. I've got like I don't have a boom arm. You can. I don't have an extra boom
no, I
arm.
don't need a boom arm, just a table stand.
Yeah, I've got a few of those. I remember the
Okay.
ones that I got from the for the convention.
Yeah, I didn't know if you brought those, you sent those back, or
Oh,
got your
I've
money
got them
back for
all.
them.
I've got
Okay.
all those. I technically have a Shure why can't I fucking talk? SM57 that you could technically use. But if you can just travel with that and that's what you're used to, I would say just bring that and I can cover the rest.
You, I'm trying to think because I threw the original box away. I could probably just throw in a bag, right? Like a cloth bag or something.
Yeah. Or like I said, you can use my SM57. I don't really care. It's got
We'll figure it out later.
look, hold on. I've got all this stuff out because I had to pull everything out of my closet and I had to go through it to get the audio equipment because I had all the audio equipment for my new sound booth. So I was going through all the stuff anyway. It's right here. So like I've got the 7B, I've got the foam, I took it
Oh,
off.
perfect. Okay.
I don't know. Whatever you want to do.
We should do a live show with your mom from the porch, dude.
It doesn't take up that much space. Honestly, if that's
Did
the
you hear
mic
me?
you use, what? No.
We should do a live show with your mom from the porch, dude. That'd be fun.
Oh yeah. Okay. I don't care. We can. It's gonna get real deep state real fucking fast.
No, no, no. We'll just talk action movies.
It's gonna get Alex Jones quick on you guys.
We'll talk action movies.
uh no, but no, like I said, we can make something work. Otherwise, that's not gonna be hard. I just pack that in a bag. I would bring that since that's
I'll
what your
bring it.
voice is
Yeah,
accustomed
might as
to,
well.
and I could take care of the rest. And like I said, I have. Are you gonna bring a laptop?
Yeah, I'm bringing my laptop. I'll bring my
Oh,
camera too.
I
You
mean,
don't
you're
think
all
I just
good.
worry about TSA messing with stuff, so
Okay. Well, do you have like?
I'll just carry I'll carry all the stuff on. That's
What
fine.
about your interface?
Uh, yeah, I'll bring that too.
Well, you got a USB mic.
Yeah, so this is a USB mic, but it also is XLR on the
You
back.
don't need an interface then. So what are you using USB?
I'm using a USB hub, so I can bring that too.
Just we don't need the you don't really need the interface then. I mean, it's whatever. All right, so we'll figure it out. And but what are we going to talk about? We're going to do a porch episode, or we're going to do it.
No, we'll do something. We'll do something cool.
We'll set up a room. We can do it from my sound booth area. We'll go in my closet,
Yeah,
dude. We could. I have a table.
that'd
The
be
table
funny.
I got. The table I got, the one that I stand for the actual stuff, it morphs and turns into a flat table. And we could just pull a couple of chairs in there. I've got some just folding chairs. We could sit there. It'll be like Charlie Rose in a dark room, and we'll have two mics set up. Why not?
Just don't cut any gassers, man. Let's stink up the room.
I promise
It's a
nothing.
tiny little room, dude.
Well, if we're gonna do this, I feel like we have to plan it beforehand because we said we
Yeah.
were gonna do that last time Todd came over. You know what happens? Jack shit happens.
Well, why don't we
Because
do it after we go to the convention that night?
I mean, I'm down, like I said. All right, so we'll figure that out. Good idea, Blocko. What else? Was there anything else that we needed to discuss before we get into name that Kino? Are we just gonna roll into name that Kino? Todd, are you prepared?
I'm prepared. Hold on, let me pull it up. You can go through some of the comments real quick if you want.
All right, so Todd's gonna pull that up. He's gonna like try and learn from his boomer ways of last week. Hopefully, he's got it prepared. Blocko, top 10 sexiest male actors in your dreams, my friend. Of the 80s. Okay, well, that changes my mind. It's like Jack Nicholson now or 1972 or whatever he says. Four, I don't remember.
Okay. All
All
right.
right, are we? Let me know when
Let
you're all
me let
set.
me share this.
All right, well I have to introduce it. I gotta officially introduce it when you're ready.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and
All
introduce it.
right, everybody. No more dilly dallying. It's time for Name That Kino, presented by Todd this week. Let me know if I can look or what's going on. Are you all set? You understand how it
I
works,
am
right?
I am all set.
So I'm going to
So
share it.
yeah, go share it.
Don't butcher this.
I won't.
I just see one picture there.
Yes, because I have them in different folders. Name that
Why? Hold on.
because I don't want you seeing. I don't want you seeing
Okay,
any
hold
hints.
on. So you're saying I'm going to guess this, and then I'm going to have to remove this, and you're going to pull up the other folder?
No, I'll just go. I have it pretty much set up, so I can just click
Why
back and
don't
then
you
go
just
into
put
my
them
other.
in one folder and you
I don't
scroll
want
through
you to
them?
see it. All
I
right.
don't have to see them. Did you see mine?
Why does it matter?
Mine were all in the same folder, and I could just simply click 1, 2, 3. All right, let's see how smooth this is for you guys. And
Okay.
Yeah, okay, I get it. My mom voted for Patrick Swayze, hottest guy of the '80s. Blanco says Don Johnson. I'm sure my mom would not be in disagreement there either. Sounds like you guys should get fucking mimosa sometime. All right,
Well, you
let's
need to
do
figure out
this.
who Mendoza says. He's the tiebreaker.
All right, all right, all right. I'm not a fan of how fluid Todd is, but maybe he'll prove me wrong. Let's go. Name that Kino. Or sorry, you get to say it because I gotta name it.
Name that Kino.
It says hard. Are you starting with the hard?
Yes.
Oh, I guess you would start with a hard. All right, let's go.
Can you see it?
King Kong ain't got shit on. No, I can't see it, Todd. This is
How can
going
you
so
not
well.
see it?
Because I'm just looking at a folder. Because you got the wrong. You're sharing the wrong window.
Oh,
I'm looking
shit.
at a folder that says hard, and it shows like maybe like a swarm of people. And it says hard
Okay.
too.
Okay. Yeah. I already butchered this.
Yeah, dude. Come on, man. This is fucking stupid.
All right.
Come
Hold
on,
on.
man. Just
All
put them
right.
in a single folder and number
Okay.
them.
I'll put them in a single folder. Hold on.
Oh, okay. Now you're gonna do it. How long is that gonna take, guys? I like to apologize on behalf of Todd.
You son of a bitch.
I mean, it's not that hard. You went to college.
What does that have anything to do with it?
Because you should know how to do something like this. I don't know. Jeez Louise. Somebody hit me with a question, so I have something to do. Well, I'm getting an aneurysm over here. Tom Cruise. Okay, we're actually doing this. We're doing the sexiest male actors of the 80s, I guess. Everybody in the chat. Mendoza votes for Tom Cruise. Number 1. Mel Gibson, Jeff Bridges. Interesting choices. My mom says Don and Mickey Rourke.
Okay.
Hey, Mendoza, what's your favorite 80s Tom Cruise movie? And was Rose McGowan right in Scream where she says that like you could pause the movie and see the tip of his penis and all the right moves?
Yes, that's accurate.
Is that really accurate?
Yes.
Todd's like freeze frame that.
Oh, who didn't? All right.
I'm watching you scroll through all these pictures. Okay. I mean,
Name that Kino.
are we ready?
Yep. Can you see it?
Say it like you mean it. Say it like you mean it.
Name that Kino.
All right. Okay. Shit. Is this Society?
No.
Because it looks older. It's not The Shining because there was never an overhead shot of a party like that. It's not old enough anyway. Is it Carrie?
No.
Let's see. My mom says Losing It.
No.
Okay.
That's a good guess though.
Okay.
Because I love Tom Cruise.
Is it Prom Night?
Nope.
1 or 2?
Nope.
Okay. Well, so it looks 80s. Very clearly 80s. Don't know if it's horror or not. It's a ballroom of some sorts. I'd say it's a little too big of an open space to be a prom, but movie proms are not realistic. They're always like this. I guess I need another hint. And if I get it on the second hint, it still counts as a win. Just to establish the rules here.
Second hint. Here we go.
Okay. Name that Kino. Are you sure I've seen this?
Yes, you have.
Gosh, why can't I remember it? I would remember a girl that ugly. Look at the receding hairline on that chick. You know what she looks
Yeah.
like? She
Who?
she looks like the guy. She looks like Durant from Darkman. Darkman. She looks like when are you gonna learn, Weenie Boy? When are you gonna learn? Goodness gracious. Is it now it looks like they're in the military. Like is this like a bomb site? That guy looks like he's wearing army colors. Is it oh my gosh. Is it horror? Give me a hint.
How can I give you a hint? You're
I
doing pretty
mean,
good so far.
I am okay. All right, great. Is it Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth?
Mm,
No, it's not. Is it
no,
Heaven Can Wait?
no.
Is it okay, give me this hint. Is it an 80s sex comedy?
No, it's not. It's.
Gosh.
I can give you a hint.
Does it involve time travel? I got Blocko saying Back to the Future. It's not, but
I don't know.
oh shit.
What?
You just gave me a look.
What?
Is it does it involve somebody dying and coming back like as an angel?
It's okay. Let me tell you this. He put out. This director put out probably one of my favorite movies of the '90s.
Of the
Top
90s.
top 5, but it's not
Hmm.
this one.
Let me go over Todd's favorite movies of the 90s. Usual Suspects is one of them, I would say. Not Another Teen Movie for some reason seems to be a fan favorite for Todd.
That's
I
not
don't,
my even. Yeah, I
Todd
enjoy
like
the movie. It's funny, but
Todd likes I don't know favorite movies. Todd likes Pulp Fiction. Todd likes a lot of movies. I don't know what his favorites would be from the 90s. Gosh, one of his favorites. Is this Scorsese?
no.
Okay, how long do I have to go through this? Is the third hint going to give it away?
Yes, at least
It
it
doesn't.
should.
Okay, you
At
said
least it
time
should.
travel, so when you kind of went,
I
does that
didn't. I
mean it
didn't say
involves
time travel.
flashbacks in time?
It could.
This isn't Quantum Leap, is it? And you're
No,
tricking me.
no.
It's got
It's
to be
not
a
on
movie.
television. No, it's a movie.
Okay, no TV Kino yet. We
Very,
haven't
very
gotten-
popular movie.
Good grief! All right, what's the third frame? Just give it to me. Okay, I get no glory for this one.
This is a dead giveaway. I'm sure the chat's already saying it. I can't see the chat though.
It's not Day of the Dead, is it?
No.
This is not 90s. It's 80s. And George Romero put out shit in the 90s. So what would be
This is
that?
the '90s.
Blocko saying Jacob's Ladder? No.
Oh my god, how you guys not know this one?
Is this?
Just tell me when
What?
you give up.
I give up. I can't.
Starship Troopers.
What?
Yes.
I just watched this damn movie.
Yes.
Hold on. Can I look at these pictures again? It looks like the 80s. Does it not? These frames look like the 80s to me. And I get it.
This is the dance. Remember in the beginning of the movie?
So you meant Total Recall is your favorite movie, which
Total
is
Recall,
1990.
Yeah.
Okay, Paul Verhoeven. But to
Verhoeven,
me, that
yeah.
looks like I even see Casper Van Dien down there.
Yeah, you can see. And is this?
That's
where's
him, that's
Doogie? Where's
I don't know.
Doogie?
Dang. You know what? I should have asked you to zoom in and to really let me look. Okay, but still, to me, this kind of because it looked older, and this one
And-
I just didn't remember. I just
And this
don't
is one of
remember.
the random. You know how they have like those
The news
um,
bit, like yeah,
news bits? Yeah.
the city
propaganda,
fell,
trying
blah
to
blah
get
blah.
people-
Yeah,
yeah.
propaganda. Man,
Yeah.
that made it obscure. Yeah, that's why I didn't really remember that. And legit, the first frame threw me off because it looked like an 80s movie. It looked 80s to me. It looked old. All right. And go back to the last one. Like this
Remember?
very much okay, look,
Where
this
he shoots
looks
him
like
right in the head accidentally.
this looks like Starship Troopers now that you say it, but
Yeah.
I still the first image already convinced my brain it was an 80s movie.
That's
100%.
what it does. Yeah.
And so I kept going down that path. And to me, this looked like it was 80s. I'm like, okay, this because this could be like RoboCop, right? Paul
Yeah.
Verhoeven, the violence.
Yeah.
It looks like an 80s
It's
frame.
a very yeah. It's definitely a Verhoeven type of.
All right, well, fuck this game. All right, what's the next one?
All right, hold on.
I don't
Back
think
into
that's a dead
this.
giveaway type of picture. I don't think that's a dead giveaway. I think a
Well,
dead
that's one of the
giveaway would.
funniest parts of the movie, dude.
Yeah, I was totally thrown off from the rest of it. Okay, let's go to the. Do we have 3 of these?
Yes.
All right,
So let me
jeez
go
Louise.
back
I have
into.
to be able to hang my head today. I gotta like get to the last 2 of these.
What the hell?
Yeah, what the hell? All right, while Todd's figuring this shit out that he should have already gotten figured out.
Well,
Come on,
no,
man.
you wanted it set up a certain way, so
Yeah, because we don't want to like waste everybody's time doing what you were gonna do. You already had it butchered. Let's just get this stuff prepped for next time, man. Like I did. Hey, Mendoza says hottest '80s actors continued. Tom Selleck, Rob Lowe, Alex Baldwin, Scott Bakula. You know, I was just talking about Rob Lowe yesterday because my mom and I were watching Lost Boys and we were talking about the Rob Lowe posters on Corey Haim's walls and that whole famous bit.
okay.
Funny stuff.
So, all right, let me share this now.
All
You
right.
might get this one. This one's
I better.
probably a little easier for you.
If you know what's good for you, you'll throw me a softball. All right. Name that Kino time.
Name that Kino.
This looks pretty obscure, but I see a face in the reflection. The first thing I thought about before I saw the face was like,
Mm.
is this Nightmare Part 4 with the cockroach arms? But what is that face? Is this a Freddy movie at all? Is this like,
No.
okay. Goodness gracious. A face and a mirror. It looks like a basement or a cell of some sort. I see a latch on that
Yep.
door.
Yep.
Is this like a prison movie? Is it what's it called?
No.
So it wouldn't be like a Shawshank or whatever.
No, not a prison movie.
Gosh. Is it like Silence of the Lambs? Am I looking at Buffalo Bill here?
No.
Oh gosh. And you once again, it should be assumed, but I've never seen.
This
I've
is a
seen
movie
clip.
you own. Let me just tell you that.
Gosh, man.
I made these pretty obscure. I mean, these are difficult. Like the first one's difficult, at least.
I'm trying not to look at the. I need to turn the comments off just in case they get it right. But someone said taxi driver.
No, it's not Taxi
Okay,
Driver.
I'm gonna blank the Todd's got to look at the comments while I'm playing the game.
I can't because I'm on one monitor.
Okay, that's okay. All right, so I guess give me another hint. Yeah, this frame
Okay.
is kind of.
Here's the medium.
You're not. But by the way, you're not doing any like zoom ins on frames, right? I
No,
think for
no,
for
no, no,
now.
no. These are full. These are full frames that I pulled off of services.
Just like Serpent in the Rainbow or something. Jeez,
No.
why can't I get this? Are those zombies in the background?
No. Oh.
Jeez Louise.
I know you're gonna be kicking yourself for this one, man.
Probably. Is he burning somebody at a stake here? This is I would say like you're trolling me and it's like Lords of Salem or something, but
No.
it looks too old. Goodness gracious. I feel like I should know it because I've got an up close shot of a
Rabbi.
Gosh, man. Okay, help me out with the decade. Because now I'm throwing out
90s.
Is it 90s? See, like it's so weird. Where depending on like the image you're getting, it could.
These are from Netflix or like streaming sites like that.
But it's 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. God, your fucking pictures are really obscure. Would you say the second image is really easier than the first one? Okay, I guess it's got actual
No,
proof. It's
it's pretty much. Well,
Is
if you
this
know
guy
the
a main
characters in the
character?
movies, I wouldn't
Is this
say
guy a
that,
main?
but the guy in the first one is a main character.
Oh, the guy we can't see. How convenient. Great. We just see like a reflection. Holy shit! Is it a horror movie?
Yes.
Thanks a pant load, Chet. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, shit. Give me the third one. I
All
can't do
right.
this anymore. This is terrible. Is this gonna give it away?
Yep.
Oh, vampires, dude.
Yep.
Oh
Vampires. It
God.
is.
And you know what? I should have taken more time because I saw the stake, I saw the burning. I'm like, I should have went through. I was thinking witches, but I'm like, I should have thought about vampires. I'm a
Yeah.
dummy.
No,
But
and I
that,
know you own this movie, and
but it's
yeah,
obscure because
James Woods was the first photo.
was that the reflection? Because
Yep.
okay, and you know what? Damn, if if you look at a frame like this, I own vampires and I like
Yeah.
vampires, but I've seen vampires two times in my life. I saw
Okay.
it in like 1998 and I saw it last year.
Hmm.
So definitely not a movie I know well enough to get some of these, but yeah,
No,
that
but
one
I didn't
got
know if
me.
you know James Woods' face here. I didn't know if you could
Ah,
figure that
man,
out.
yeah, kinda. I could see it. Yeah, that's just my bad. Whatever. And the leather jacket and stuff like that looks like he's wearing there, or whatever.
Yeah.
That fucking sucks.
So you're 0 for 2. Let me go on
Hold
to the
on,
third one.
James Long. Did you guess John Carpenter's Vampires before I finally had got it? Because if you did, good
920.
job.
Yeah.
Mendoza was guessing Fright Night 3. All right, so let's hit that last one. I gotta like redeem myself some.
Movie
This
3.
God, this game's harder than I anticipated. It's just like,
This one should be easy for you, I would think.
all right, let's hope so.
I made the images a lot more simple. Hold on.
Jeez, come
Okay.
on. You ready? Name that Kino.
Present. Name that Kino.
Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna go through all the sex comedies. Is it Porky's?
No.
Porky's 2?
No.
It's not Fast Times. God, I don't remember this. I've seen Fast Times. Is it? Oh, God, look at this. Is set. This. Oh God, is this early '80s or '70s? I'm looking at the wardrobe. I guess it could be early '80s
70s.
still. Is it
70s,
'70s?
early 80s. Yeah. It's around
Yeah.
that time period.
Is this? Is this one of the Friday 13th movies?
No. Mm-mm.
Uh, so it's definitely not. Gosh dang
It
it,
is a
man!
horror movie, though.
It looks like a horror movie. It's not The Burning, is it?
Nope.
They never had this many people on screen at one time in The Burning. Is this a summer camp though? Is this a camp?
No.
Good grief, dude. That is a dude with a mullet making out with a chick with a perm, right?
Look at that guy. He's popping. Look at that.
Oh God, jeez, Louise. All right.
I just noticed that, dude. I wasn't
Yeah,
even thinking
sure.
about that.
You got it. You've noticed it like 5 times today, over and over again. This is tough, man. Is this like an obscure Jaws sequel?
No, it's not an obscure movie.
Too hard. I mean, like, dude, look at the. You can't look at the comments, see if anybody's got it right. I don't want to.
Let me look. Okay, I can't because I'm
Okay, that's
sharing my
okay.
screen.
That's okay. All right. Go ahead and give me hit number 2, man. This is absolute
Okay,
malarkey.
you should know it.
I should, huh? Okay, it doesn't look like he's getting shot. It looks like something's bursting out because I'm seeing guts come out. Is something getting him from behind? And because yeah, it looks like something's coming out. I mean, it's not. This isn't an aliens movie, obviously. Is that like a hand coming through his chest?
No,
Because it
no.
looks like the guts are coming out, right?
Okay, look
Um,
at the background. Where are they at?
it's a fence. It's a
Yeah.
backyard, maybe.
No.
Look at the. How am I supposed to know where they're at with that fence? It looks like a fence from a backyard. Um, they at church. He
I
looks
guess
like
it
he's
is.
dressed
I
in his
guess it
Sunday
is kind
best.
of obscure for the place, but yeah. I mean, if you've seen it once, The scene's very iconic.
Uh, is this a Cronenberg movie?
No, no.
Oh gosh, man! And you sure it's
Think
70s?
bottom of the barrel. 80s,
Well,
early 80s. Yeah. Think bottom of the barrel.
I already was with some Friday the 13th stuff. It's not the sleepaway camp, is it? Because you said it's not
No,
camp. It's nothing
no.
like that. Um, dude, this is bullshit. That looks like Ben Shapiro though. This
It
is
does.
absolute. It's absolute bullshit. These are I. Be the third one, dude. I fucking give up. This is bullshit.
I did give away.
Oh, Toxic
Toxic,
Avenger.
yeah.
Ah,
Yep.
dude.
Yeah.
I
That scene's pretty iconic where he walks in they rob the diner or whatever.
yeah, and it's got the Sandman and the makeup,
Yeah.
and he's the diner guy. Go back, please.
Yep.
I just
Remember he shoots him right in the chest,
yeah,
dude?
I remember, but I feel like you could have made it look a little bit more like a diner. I feel like your third one and your second one are equally hard. That's my only problem with yours, Todd. They're not like they're not like any easier.
Well, this is pretty good practical effects here. I mean, it's not just some random frame, like the first one.
I don't know. Let's go to I want to go to the judges, everybody. What do you guys think of James Long guest Toxic Avenger? Yeah, you guessed it too late. We already gave it Ghoulies. All right, all right. Do you guys think Todd's hints are not like scaled appropriately? I feel like this. I have no problem with the first one. They should be kind of obscure. The second one I think are it's just obscure. I don't know. Like I would have actually made it clear it was a diner at least. I don't think it's given away too much. A diner.
No.
Um, and then the third one having Toxie. I mean that's a pretty big giveaway. I get that. It's
Yeah.
that second one I have a problem with. I don't feel like there's enough.
But it was a pretty iconic scene. I mean, he just randomly because once he gets shot in the chest, that was like the first thing you're like, "What the heck is this movie?"
Look at that. Mendoza says they are all over the place. So I think the first ones are good. I think the third ones do what they're supposed to do.
Okay.
I just
Okay.
have a problem with the second one. I don't feel like I
Okay.
feel like the difficulty is the same with the first two,
Well,
which basically fucks me over because I only have that second one to
but you
get it
want him to
right.
be hard though because
But I just think you should work on the increments. Like I
okay.
like I think the first one is good. It should be hard. The third one is a gimme, and then I lose all credit, which basically means I think statistically, the ones we're gonna get, if we're gonna get credit, is gonna be on the second one. And I think by them being just as hard as the first one, I'm losing any chance of winning these games.
Well, that's why you got to have it medium
I'm giving you
hard.
the Joaquin Phoenix.
Hey, it's
Look.
it's medium hard, not
No, we need hard, medium, and then easy. So that's just my opinion. But okay, anyway.
I'm sure people in the first scene.
Nobody got him right in the chat.
Oh, okay. Whoops.
Okay. Blanco's defending you. They are difficult, but that makes it a challenging. Okay, here's what I would say. Todd and I know each other arguably better than anybody. So here's what I would say. I gauge my stuff to you. If I know it's a movie you've seen a lot, I'll go that obscure.
Okay.
But like honestly, I've seen Toxic Avenger. How many times do you think I've seen it in my life? How many times have you seen it in your entire life?
Probably about 5 times.
I've seen it maybe 3 over
Okay.
the course of like 30 years. So, if you were doing like Mortal Kombat, which I've seen like way too many times, I want to admit, yeah, you get as obscure. You can zoom in on frames. I will get it. But like, if you want to do a Rocky movie, I will get it. Get as obscure as you want. Give me a close up of somebody drinking like fucking orange juice. I'll know it.
Okay.
But like, vampires. I've seen this movie 2 and 3 times over the course of many years. I'm just saying. Just think about that. Think about.
Well,
that.
I was
But that's
going based off your letterbox, so
okay.
I'm
You're right.
sorry.
You're right.
I'm not. I
Well,
didn't come
like,
up with like random movies you haven't seen.
For example, a movie like Toxic Avenger, which I've probably seen at least 3 times, but over the course of a long time, I would have caught more iconic stuff. If you would have had an image of the kid's head getting squashed by the car,
Yeah.
that one is like
That's a
obvious.
good giveaway. Yeah.
Maybe. Or if you would have shown me just a little bit more of the diner,
Yeah.
I maybe would have put it together. But yeah, you had a really obscure background. I'm like, fuck, dude, that looked like somebody's like backyard wedding.
Well, it's like
Nice.
a farmer's diner, dude. I always thought it was pretty cool. But
All right. Anyway, it was still a good round. We're still working these out. We're still working these out. This is how I would tweak it personally. I guess Todd can be ruthless if he wants. I'll keep
No,
being very
I'll
generous
I'll
to
make
Todd.
it a little easier for you. How about
No,
that?
no, just cater it. Like if you don't, what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
I know what you're
Like
saying. Make
if
medium easy, not medium
if I
hard.
if I was gonna do Total Recall, I would go really hard on you because you need to
Oh
get it.
yeah,
I would
yeah,
zoom in on Tony's pussy crack on his
yeah.
face, and
I
I'd be
would
like,
get it.
"What
I would
is
get it.
this?"
I would get it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly. Okay, I wouldn't show you the take my hands Quaid. I wouldn't show you that scene. I would zoom in on his little fucking digit and be like, what is that?
Oh yeah, I
All
would
right.
get it too.
All right. Anyway, enough of this show of emotion.
Motion. Yeah.
Uh let's talk about some movies. Let's talk about some movies. We brought up a whole bunch of movies today. Are they just now? Name that Kino. A lot of these guesses. Are these all on 4K? Maybe, maybe not. Let's talk about the movies that should be on 4K, but for some reason beyond our control, they're not. Which actually, I guess there's actual
Well,
reasons for it.
you kind of know based off of the
Physical
companies.
physical media is dead though. Like this is the last round, right,
Yeah.
of physical media. All we went years with nothing coming to 4K and it just being like a real niche thing. And then maybe we're just getting like brand new like releases rather is what it was, like brand new blockbusters coming to 4K. And that was it. And then all of a sudden the last 2 years, all the boutique labels exploded with putting out all their previous stuff on 4K. Uh, I remember just a couple, maybe 3 years ago, when they announced Synapse, when they did Suspiria. I thought that was weird. Like Suspiria is coming to 4K because it was those movies were not coming to 4K, and I
Yeah.
remember it was really exciting. And now it's like it's not even special because everything's coming to 4K now. And I think it's just everybody trying to combat streaming, losing money by trying to nickel and dime the hardcores that are going to buy everything for a fifth time on a different format. They're just trying to squeeze and wring out those pockets one last time because this is going to be it. But there's some titles out there that just blow me away that you would have thought they would have went to first. I mean, how do you want to do this? Do you want to we'll go back and forth. Can I
Okay.
start just because I want to get
Yeah.
the
Go
elephant
ahead.
out of the room?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna go ahead and say the ones that everybody talks about, and that's True Lies in the Abyss, which
Mhm.
didn't even have Blu-ray releases,
Yeah. It's
which is
ridiculous.
weird. Like, what is going on with James Cameron? Is it just him being such a perfectionist, how he
Yeah. Pretty
oversees
much.
things? Because they didn't even get Blue releases.
Hmm.
Like True Lies is on DVD, right? And The Abyss never
Yeah.
got a Blu-ray release either. It's absolutely, and these movies would look phenomenal on 4K, especially The Abyss. It just makes no sense. Now, apparently, I think they're are they finally coming? Are they finally being worked on?
He's been talking about that for 2 years
He's
now.
been talking about it for. I think
Yeah.
there was other points in history in the last 10 years,
Yeah.
even in the Blu-ray. I think there was buzz that he was going to oversee it, and they just never happened. And I
Yeah.
just don't know what the deal is.
Low priority for him. He
It's
doesn't give a
not
fuck.
a Tarantino where the rights are caught up between two different companies,
Yeah.
and they had to liquidate all the what's it called, Miramax shit because of what's his face. Which those are all getting remedied. Those are now coming out. The rest of the like Jackie Browns and all that stuff that were the gaps, but there's no reason for James Cameron, and I just don't get it. I mean, we don't have. Is Titanic have a release date for 4K?
Isn't that already out? Isn't it?
Titanic 4K? No.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Which they re-released it in theaters like a couple years ago, and I thought, okay, it's gonna be like Terminator 2, where they're gonna have like a 4K release right around the corner based off like all the upgrades they did. And I don't think we ever got one. I mean, let me just make sure that wasn't on my list, but I'm pretty sure Titanic doesn't have a 4K. Titanic 4K. It says here Avatar, The Abyss, Titanic, and True Lies confirmed for 4K UHD in 2023.
I can see Titanic. I can't see the other ones.
I mean, I'll see it when I do, right? When I'll believe it when it happens, type of thing. Oh,
Because they actually
Blanco,
put out a collect. Go ahead.
oh, sorry, that's a good one. Monster Squad on 4K.
Yeah.
I never liked that movie as much as other people, though. I don't know, and I did actually see it when I was like in the fourth grade, so I don't know. I just never really latched onto it. But anyway, what's yours? I just wanted to get that one out of the way because I feel like that's an obvious one.
So this one is a comedy. So we're lucky enough to get the National Lampoon's Vacation to come out on 4K, which is awesome. And I was trying to think of some of my favorite comedies, and we've talked about other ones before, like Dumb and Dumber, stuff like that.
Hmm.
That need decent releases. And this is not just for the 4K quality. This is for a good release. If they can do like, some sort of boutique treatment. And it would be this one, Revenge of the Nerds.
Oh yeah, good call.
I
They could do
wish
a
this would
box
be
set.
on. Yeah, with all four of them, that would be awesome, man. I would love it.
Really quick, hold up that copy of that Blu-ray. Does it drive you crazy when you get the vacuum seal that's like all wrinkly like that? Oh, yours isn't too bad.
I actually don't mind that.
But you know
I
when
know
it
a lot
gets
of
real
people don't
bad, when you
like
get
it.
the real
Yeah,
bad ones that are real wrinkly, real bad.
it's better than loose. All I can say. I like it tight's better than loose.
Okay. All right. Good to know. You can move it now. Okay. No, that's a good one. That's one I'm surprised. Well, it's just weird because considering all the bullshit they do put out on 4K, you'd think Revenge of the Nerds is a
Give
franchise
me
that
some
has
more
some weight.
comedies on 4K, man, because I don't have enough comedies yet. So
I mean, when you think about like, there's obscure ass movies that are getting 4K releases.
yeah, yeah.
And the stuff that's not on there. So I'm gonna, you know what? I probably could have bundled this in with my James Cameron talk, but where's the OG Terminator? Where is the OG Terminator?
Yeah, yeah.
And not only would that be I want a sweet packaging, man. They've dropped the ball. I mean, there was like 3 different editions of that released on Blu-ray, and it wasn't until the third one that it looked good. But just I don't know how much better a movie like that would look in 4K, but I'll be damned. I want to find out. I'm willing to go at the distance and see. And even if it only looks so great, I would love. I would be a mark for that. I will go buy a special edition Terminator 4K, deck it out
Oh
with
heck
special
yeah,
features.
man. That'd be
I
awesome.
mean, I love that first Terminator movie. I mean, just give me some new special features. Really deck it out. But why? Why is it seem like T2 is released to death and T1 isn't? James Cameron's really weird about the properties he does.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it would look dated in 4K. Who cares?
Would
It's
they?
Terminator.
The question is, like T1000, would they brush out a swinging cock, Arnie's, right?
I hope not.
And it's so funny because not that, like I said, it's not like the Tom Cruise thing that Todd watched a million times with the penis. You can't miss Arnold's giant anaconda swinging in that scene. So let me tell you, I have I had seen all 3 of the Blu-ray releases, and I'm pretty sure, and it wasn't until the third one that actually looked good that you actually saw it broad daylight, dude. I swear, because it's like, and you never saw that stuff as a kid because it's like grainy VHS. You never really
Yeah.
saw the dick that well. It was just like, oh, it's like, and I kind of had a feeling that's kind of the way they intended it with the technology. Like, oh, it'll be shrouded in shadow. We'll get away from a rating thing because you can barely see it. And then it was like that the first couple releases, but the third one that actually looks really good, dude, it like removes all the blacks and all the shadows out of the transfer, and you just see a fucking dick swinging around like clear as day, and it's so it's the same thing with like the T1000 when they airbrushed it out of that last T2 release. That's what they said. They said, well, frankly, they weren't planning for 4K and the way that technology would be later. Um, Stuff was going to be as visible as it is, yada yada. I mean, I don't know. But just give me a.
That's probably why they don't want to give Arnold all that money for showing his thing or whatever. I don't know.
I bet you. I have a feeling they would airbrush that shit out, which I'm not about changing history. I don't need the hog. It's
Oh,
not about me needing the hog.
we all need
The
it. It's
world
history,
needs
man.
the hog. So, nice night full walk. Look, Bill Paxton deserves some due. Just
Yeah.
make sure every Bill Paxton, R.I.P. All his movies need to be out. On that note, I'm going to say one more. Give us Near Dark on 4K. That's
Yeah.
that's that's a
That
movie
might be
that
coming out. I think that might be coming out. Let me
is
look.
that one coming out.
Yeah.
That's a
Maybe I'm
movie
wrong.
that never really. I mean, it's got a cult following, but it's one of those movies that it's got some prestige around. It should be bigger than just cult following. I think with Near Dark, it was that a case of it coming out around the same time as Lost Boys and Lost Boys burying it because it was more popular. Because there's similarities. They're both vampire movies. Um, they both follow a similar plot where they're trying to recruit someone else into their family, right? And he's turning and all that stuff. I don't know. I think maybe that was a case of that, but it's a Catherine Bigelow movie. She's a really big director. Obviously, she was married to James Cameron at the time. That's why she pretty much just extracted the whole cast from Aliens and put it in her movie. But
I don't even know if that came out on Blu-ray, man. That's
I
yeah.
don't think it
I
came. I don't think it came out on Blu-ray.
remember renting that on VHS, and that was probably the only time I saw it. And I thought
It's
it was
just one
pretty
of the.
good.
It's just one of those movies that just doesn't get released for some reason, and it was a studio movie.
Yeah.
But anyway, go ahead and give us another one.
So
Blanco, that's a good one. Punisher '89. Did that even get a Blu-ray release?
I have no idea.
Louis Gossett Jr. and Dolph.
This one hopefully will be coming out soon, but I hope it's coming out from a different company. Arrow, I wish put this out, but
Oh
Sleepaway
yeah,
Camp box set
yeah. Give
because
us a box set.
I never got the Blu-rays. So give
Well,
me the 4Ks.
you know, Shout's gonna put them out.
Well,
Shout,
I wish they got, or I wish Arrow had the rights to that. Put out a box.
Shout's gonna re-release all their 4K their Blu-rays into 4Ks, their collector's editions. It's coming, and those ones will sell like hotcakes because those ones had
They didn't have
stock
3 though,
issues.
did they? Oh,
Yeah,
they might have 3.
they released
Okay.
1, 2, and 3. 2
Okay.
and 3 just sold out. Like
Yeah.
they just went out of print fairly quick. I have all 3, and I'm pretty sure I got slips with all 3, which
Oh,
is
do you?
unheard of. But yeah, just they'll release them again. And yeah, if they just put them in a box set, why not? I okay. This one is tricky because it's kind of on the horizon and hinted that it's coming because they just got like a German release in the past few months, but Bloodsport.
Oh,
And not
yeah.
just Bloodsport, a whole bunch of Van Damme movies. Like,
Mm,
right, I'm looking at Van Damme right now on Lionheart, and that's in our little still there.
yeah.
I want Lionheart. Apparently, I mean, I know we have Hard Target, and we got Universal Soldier on 4K, which is dog shit. Do not waste your money on that shit transfer at all.
Need Desert Heat, man. On
No, but
anything.
and then we have apparently Kino Lorber's putting out Sudden Death sometime this year, which is great.
Okay.
But there's so many more. Why do we not have
Double
Bloodsport and
Team.
Kickbox? No, you
I know.
quit mentioning the shitty movies. But he's got his biggest movie is Bloodsport, and his second most iconic movie is probably Kickboxer. Why
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
these not out? These are the ones that, and who is it? Somebody just put it out. Am I getting this right? Is it Candlelight? What's their name? Some distributor.
Uh,
Look up
for
Bloodsport.
which time? Oh, for Bloodsport. Yeah, this is the
Bloodsport's got
German.
like a
Yeah.
they just got a German release,
Yeah.
and they're being a little like mum about it. But basically they've hinted that just save your money, it's coming, and why wouldn't it come? And they got a sweet big fat case over there, awesome special edition. I just Where is it? I would buy all the Van Dams, and yeah, even the obscure ones, we're never gonna get Desert Heat ever on 4K, but I would love it.
Give it to me on Blu-ray or
It
something.
never got a
along those
Blu-ray.
lines.
Yeah, I would like to just
No.
upgrade my shitty DVD. I watched it on YouTube. That needs to change.
Maybe we can
Um,
put our Danny Trejo song in the special features, the cigarettes and whiskey, where he's singing to us, dude.
I think it's kind of a surprise and a crime that Time Cop's on a 4K.
Yeah.
It's
Time
never
Cop's a-
been one of
yeah.
my it's never been one of my favorite Jean-Claude Van Damme movies, but it is one of his most popular. And
Double Impact was popular,
Double Impact sucks.
but it was popular.
I think it was no, Double Impact just came out during his heyday, but I don't think it's one of his most popular. It's just I don't know. It's
It
fine.
was probably the elementary school kids that I was hanging out with was popular with them.
Yeah, it was fun. It's just not. It hasn't aged very well. But Time Cop was his highest grossing box office hit.
Yeah.
Backed by Universal. It's like, where is that? I mean, the Street Fighter movie came out on the heels of that, which is not good. But like, I'm surprised that doesn't have a 4K release because there is enough people that love that, like the Mario Brothers movie. It's the same thing where it's like it's renowned as being a bad movie, but people would buy it. People that love Street Fighter, people that love the novelty.
Well, they came out with a
It's
Street Fighter one, didn't they? A really
not a
cool looking
4K.
steelbook, I thought.
That's a Blu-ray. They re-released a Blu-ray.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it's not a 4K. It's absolutely stupid. Blanco Death Warrant is one of his best. That is one of my favorites. I would love that on 4K.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, I would be totally fine if they kind of went down the ladder and started, but like why Bloodsport, Kickboxer, and Time Cop? These movies are not on 4K, and these are like his biggest movies, man. So it blows me away. It is what it is, but show Van Damme love. I want them to do a release date for Sudden Death. I know it's coming. It's just sometime in 2023. I'm holding. I've been wanting to watch Sudden Death, but I refuse to watch it because I know it's like, no, I want to watch a 4K fresh in mind. I don't want to, you know.
Wasn't Maximum Risk pretty popular in the Quest?
No, no. Okay, there's a couple of periods of Van Damme's career. There is pre Street Fighter and post Street Fighter. Uh, Street Fighter was his highest paycheck because Street Fighter was right on the verge of so he had done Time Cop, which is his movie, his only movie I think to do 100 million, and he was big. He was riding high, and
No.
from there he did Sudden Death and He got Street Fighter right off the heels of that, then Sudden Death. So off the heels of Time Cop, he was getting big paydays in bigger studio movies, but they were all bombing.
Mhm.
And so starting in the mid late 90s, like after your Street Fighters, after your Sudden Deaths, he was still getting theatrical movies. He was hanging on by a thread, but that's where he was getting Maximum Risk and then Knock Off with Rob Schneider
Yeah.
and Double Team and movies like that, where they were still getting theatrical windows, but the quality was way lower and just he was striking out too much. And then after that small wave of movies, he went to straight to VOD hell. Then he was coming out with movies like Derailed, and stuff like that.
I remember the
But
Second in Command. That was like a red box staple. Like every time you went there, you saw that covered.
that was a straight to DVD movie, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Well, and then Second in Command, he was like always playing up. He did a movie called Legionnaire. He was always playing someone in the French Legion.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Lionheart he did too.
Yeah.
But you mentioned so he did the Quest around the time in the mid '90s when he was riding high. He had been working on the Quest, which is his directorial debut. It's kind of like he was having his Steven Seagal on Dangerous Ground, like Christ complex, where I'm going to direct and produce and write my own movie. Which I don't know if you've seen on Dangerous Ground.
Mm-mm.
It's basically like an hour and a half, 2 hours of Steven Seagal sucking his own cock
Oh, really?
because it's a vanity project. He did everything.
Oh,
And he
okay.
got to do that when he was at his peak. He had the string of hits, and he's like, "All right, we'll give you whatever you want." Steven Seagal. So Van Damme was doing his movie, The Quest, but that was still by the time that came out and he had finished it, he had kind of had his speed bumps at the box office, and I just don't. I don't know. I never really liked The Quest. Is basically like Bloodsport. It ends like Bloodsport, where it's a tournament again, and it's just like this is the movie. This is your
The
passion
tournament.
project. Like this is your passion project to fucking rip yourself off. And that movie, The Quest, it has what Charlton Heston in it. I don't know,
Wow.
which we all know what a box office draw Charlton Heston was in the mid '90s.
Yeah.
You know, whatever.
It was like Robert Redford.
Yeah, dude, Blanco, that's a great one too. Rumble in the Bronx. Well, that's a great movie. I wonder why some of
Yeah.
those Jackie Chan movies aren't on there. It's kind of cool. Golden Harvest flicks like you got End of the Dragon movies are getting 4K releases, robust 4K releases, aren't they? Like I know you have a box set, but they're actually putting out End of the Dragon like by itself, decked out and stuff.
Yeah. They're doing, I think they're doing 4K, like, yeah, standard. And then maybe doing a box set too. I don't know.
I don't know, but all that stuff's cool.
The Blu-rays look awesome though. The Bruce Lee box set looks amazing.
But to put a nail in mine, I will be a first day pre-order of Bloodsport. And I will buy a big fat digibook, the whole 9 yards, man. I love Bloodsport. It just needs to be released.
Well, did you hear what they just announced yesterday?
No, what they announced?
Criterion announced La Bamba.
Really?
Yeah.
No shit. On 4K
Yeah.
or Blu-ray?
I don't know. I'll have to go back and look, but I saw
I
people
feel
were
like
talking about that.
Criterion, they're only putting out 4Ks that they already had on Blu-ray, and if it's a new acquisition, they're doing Blu-ray first.
So they're gonna do that. Okay.
To milk you, and then like in a year or two, you'll get the 4K.
Well, then I'll wait. But I love La Bamba.
If it's only getting a Blu-ray release, that's their game, 100%, and I will
Yeah.
fucking wait. But I think that's a very good
Mhm.
Criterion. It's just it's got the cultural impact.
Oh, it's
Uh,
awesome.
I think it's weird how like what
Soundtrack is
Criterion
amazing.
Criterion's gotten weird. Like, didn't they put out like was it Armageddon? they
Ugh,
put they put like
I don't
Armageddon
know.
on Criterion, which is weird. Which is like
Put a
what?
Wally, which I thought was kind of weird too.
That's kind of weird too. It's like you'd think that would just be kind of left to the Disney stuff. But La Bamba deserves it. It's got a huge cultural impact. It's one of the. It might be the most popular Latin America movie that's crossed over to just.
Not my Richie.
I'm saying to gringos like us to pop culture, right?
Oh yeah, I love
When
that
you,
movie, man.
but I'm saying like it's one of the few Latin American movies that like are for Latin people, but they've reached out to everybody. You have that movie, you have Blood In, Blood Out, and then you know
You're right. It's
those
blue.
the,
It's Blu-ray. It's just
of
Blu-ray.
course. So that's gonna be their game. Give it
Okay.
at least a year from that, and it'll get 4K. Don't waste your fucking money. That's their game, dude.
Well, they
100%.
also just announced Last House on the Left remake 4K. Arrow did, which I haven't seen that since I saw it with you, and I remember enjoying the remake.
Yeah, we saw it at your grandma's condo or whatever it was.
Yeah,
Yeah, where we filmed our short film that never saw the light of day.
I don't remember what happened to that.
Lost all the footage about the home invasion pizza guy. Uh, and yeah, you guys like had me tied up and you were throwing shit in my face,
Oh yeah, that
putting
was
food
funny.
all over me.
Were
You're
you
like,
dumping
eat this.
flour on you or something?
You
Yeah.
dumping, you're like torturing me by like dumping food and smothering ketchup and flour.
Yeah.
I wish we had. I bet it looks like shit. Yeah, El Mariachi, you're right. But yeah, does the Crow have a?
Desperado. I
I'm
love
surprised the
Desperado.
Crow doesn't have a 4K. That's got such a huge following. I don't. I've never thought the Crow was that good. It's
It's
not
all
as good as
right. Yeah, yeah.
I've
Soundtracks is
always.
great.
I've always wanted to like it more. It's like I should like this, but I just don't. Don't even get me started on the sequels. They don't get better. But
Oh, the one with Eddie is the best, man.
I haven't watched. I might have watched it and forgot about it,
You forget about Eddie.
dude. I don't. Dude, it's shit. I've never
He,
seen
he
it.
probably forgot about it.
Yeah, he doesn't remember anything. He really doesn't. Um, I love those interviews he's doing. He was doing for the Forest Hills, and they reunited him with Kyle from
Oh yeah,
Racing.
yeah. Buddies
And
forever. Yeah.
and he's like that one interview. I love it where he's like crammed like a sardine in
Yeah.
like a
Oh yeah.
trailer,
They're on the bus, dude. Yeah. Yeah.
and like Eddie's like fucking smushed to the side. He looks so uncomfortable because he's obviously a fucking whale, but it just looks real uncomfortable. And the whole time it's like Kyle's talking about, oh yeah, like he
He
probably
remembers
has real fun
everything.
because he didn't work really after it.
Yeah.
But Eddie's like, he just honestly seems like I don't remember this guy.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
honestly the kind of way he carries himself. Like,
It's like, well, I was just in the movie, man.
yeah. It's like I was doing a lot of movies at the time, man. That was like 6 weeks of my life. I filmed with you like 3 days. Like what? But I'm saying. They had filmed the movie at that point, but I bet you he was giving me this vibe like when they first got together on set. He was like, "Hey, you."
You know what? That makes me respect him even more, though. That he doesn't remember. That just shows you how big Eddie is.
Big enough to get Hulk Hogan's record producer for his album. Put one of the fucking big names. All right.
I
Is it
smell
your
a
turn?
coward.
No, that's Macho's album. That's the better produced album.
Yeah. Yeah. You may grab my next one.
Yeah, go ahead.
This one, I don't understand how this is not on 4K yet. Day of the Dead.
How? How is it not? No, 100%.
I don't know.
How that blows me away.
Yeah.
And that's the one that was
Well, the
getting
Scream Factory one. Fuck
Shout
yeah.
Factory will put it out. I imagine like if they'll probably put out a 4K of theirs.
But I don't even want to buy those because they don't upgrade any of the special features or anything. And the 4K scans don't look that much better. It's just like I want something like a collector set, like a Second
Yeah,
Sight does.
like a Dawn. Yeah, like a Dawn
Yeah.
set. No, yeah, it blows me away. Did they reissue their Land of the Dead in 4K or no?
I don't know. I wouldn't have gotten it anyway.
Not that I care. I'm just wondering. Like that would be weird if they skipped Land.
I don't think they have
4K.
done it yet. No.
Nah, like I said, they're taking their time. They're really
They're milking
shingling
all
out
these suckers. I'm not jumping into that, man.
they're really doing it. That's what I'm saying. And I know Criterion's game. Don't waste your money on La Bamba
Yeah.
unless you don't care about 4K. I mean, we're just a couple of neckbeards that do. Most people don't. But 100%, give it a year. I already learned my lesson with like Mulholland Drive.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was like what, a week later.
Yeah, I fucking, I it already been out for a little bit by the time I got it, and then yeah, like, and then they announced it, and it was about a year gap total from when it got released to whatever. Um, so yeah, just don't. People should vote with their wallets a little better. I really quick, this just got announced officially. Was it just Trick or Treat? Is that just Blu-ray or is that getting 4K?
It's getting 4K.
Is it getting a 4K?
Yeah, so Synapse slash Red Shirt Pictures are doing that. So
And that's such a relief because it never got a blue release. So I'm glad they're jumping the
yeah,
line and going from shitty DVD to 4K. And
yeah, this
hopefully
should
they
be
really
this
are.
year. They're saying maybe October-ish.
But
So
we don't have a release date.
we don't have a release date, but it's gonna be this year. So
Okay, I couldn't remember if they were going straight to 4K. I really hope they go all out and give us some special features, like really, really put
oh,
it
if it's
because
anything like the Synapse release, I mean, it's gonna be stacked, man. Like the
they
Suspiria.
need to like this movie has been clamored for so long, and
Yeah,
it's only just it's really grown its cult following over the past 10 years. I feel right.
yeah.
And I even when I was watching it and telling Todd about it, nobody was fucking talking about that movie.
I first saw it at your apartment back in like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
2006 or
Nope.
something. Yeah.
No, and then nobody was talking about it, and I don't know at what point it finally hit the ether and everybody was talking about it. I don't know. I don't know if like it was from like my generation of Discovery and just like I said, showing Todd, showing whatever. Maybe it just kind of like
It's been about
grew like
5
that.
years. It's starting to grow.
Yeah,
Seems
I
like.
mean, it seems like out of nowhere. It's pulling a move like my next official pick, if I can say it. It's basically pulling a Killer Clowns from Outer Space,
Yeah.
which is not on 4K. So Killer Clowns from Outer Space, I feel like they've been treating like the next big franchise for the past 5 years. It's really weird. There was a point where Killer Clowns from Outer Space was really obscure, and then out of nowhere, it's everywhere. We got a video game coming out. There's T-shirts everywhere, like every fucking Fright Rags type website and Hot
Yeah.
Topic. They have Killer Clown shirts, and now you have like NECA. You have Killer Clowns toys, and so basically, somebody bought the fucking rights to that and started milking
I
like a
yeah, and I think that Vinegar Syndrome is going to be putting that out. That's the word on the street.
on
So there's
4K,
on 4K. So that's one
which
of the titles they've been talking about, but and
Arrow
nothing
put
has
out
come
a
out.
Arrow put out a fantastic Blu-ray.
Yeah,
So they don't
I didn't even
they
see
don't
the
have
Blu-ray of that, but
it's fantastic. It really is a fantastic packaging. I don't really know if it's probably not a movie that needs a 4K to be honest with you because the Blu-ray is great. Um,
if it's
but
anything like these the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, like the great packaging and all the ton of special features, I hope it is Vinegar Syndrome. Some of those titles you just kind of wish that they're a little bit
but it
they
just
take
blows
a
me
little
away.
more
Like
care.
I said, that's just another property that just came out of nowhere in the last 5 years that everybody loves and knows all of a sudden, and just go to go to Spirit Halloween this season. It's like
Yeah,
killer clown shit everywhere. Like
Creep Show
what
is
is
popping up too.
dude, there's killer clowns from outer space costumes. There's
Yeah.
giant life size shit for Halloween. It's like, where is this? Like I said, a video game. So, I'm not one of these people that's going to get upset or anything because that Killer Clowns from Outer Space is my earliest movie memory as a kid.
Yeah.
I was a toddler watching Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and I used to call it Space Clowns. And it's so funny because even for the longest time when I was a kid, I never knew it by its real name because I always just talked about watching Space Clown. Oh, I wish I could see Space Clowns again because you couldn't see it.
Yeah.
You couldn't find it. It was hard to find, and maybe they would show it like on a Sci-Fi Channel late at night, movie of the week, like. But now it's just like I said, it's being tailored to be this exploited franchise. Which whatever it is, what it is, but with that said, I would probably be a sucker, and if it was a really sweet packaging, I would probably rebuy it because I think it's such a watchful movie. It's such a great
Oh,
movie,
absolutely.
and honestly, it's a great and we did an episode. I think we talked about this during an episode one time, but it's a great introduction to horror for a kid. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah. Yeah.
it's PG-13. It's not R. It's not violent.
Mhm.
But it could be kind of creepy. The clowns and they do kill people. They put the straws in the cocoons and they're sucking the blood, but nothing's graphic. Nothing's
Mhm.
it's PG-13 and all the kills are very like the shadow puppet kill where the shadow swallows their
Yeah.
shadows.
Yeah.
I guess the most violent thing is like when he's like, "Put up your nukes, put up your up," and he uppercuts that guy. But you don't see
Yeah.
anything. You just see him. You see it hit. It cuts away, and you see like the worst paper mache head.
Mm.
And there's no blood. So, but I love it. So that's my next pick.
My next pick, I'll just throw two at you real quick because this first one, everybody talks about it. It should be on 4K. Blu-ray's been out of print forever. Of course, Dead Alive,
Mm.
which Peter Jackson, who knows if it's never going to be released in 4K, or it's gonna come back into print on Blu-ray. Who knows? But my more obscure one is one that, God, I mean, I don't understand how they don't give this movies better treatment. Warner Brothers doesn't do shit for their movies anymore. Of course, it's all the Dirty Harry
Dirty Harry flicks.
movies.
Yeah. Why? Well, same thing with Lethal Weapon.
Yeah,
They do the
exactly.
same. They do the same lazy shit with Lethal Weapon. When it finally got a blue release, it was in like a stupid 4-pack like that.
Yeah, I don't
And
even know if they're like stacked on each other. Or what. Yeah, a bunch of movies stacked on each other.
yeah, it took forever for Lethal Weapon to get a blue, but it was, and then it was in a shitty fucking packaging like that. And Lethal Weapon, that's another one. Why are the Lethal Weapons not on 4K?
I know.
If they're
Yeah.
in the business of milking money, now you'd think now in this like 4K era that we're in, they would release each one as a fucking special edition with steel books and slip covers and all kinds of stuff. You'd think they would do that, or a box set.
Oh yeah, that'd be
Like,
awesome.
I mean, they've made box sets for stuff like Rambo. Like you can make a Lethal Weapon box set, but
And Lethal Weapon's huge at the time. I don't understand that.
to me, it is the buddy cop movie.
Yeah,
It is
I
the
agree.
archetype that they all copied, right?
Yep.
It's been gone for so long. I don't know how relevant it is as a franchise anymore because it's been, the last movie was in 90, what, 7? 98,
Yeah.
97, 4.
Yeah, right.
It's been like 25 years, if not more. And I know they're trying to put, they're coming out with part 5, but I don't have confidence that part 5 is going to be a hit.
Seeing Danny Glover on screen again is kind of scary, in my opinion.
It's just been too long, and people like Mel Gibson, as much as I love him, they're just not. They've just done too much.
He's not
damage
the
to their
same.
career.
Yeah, yeah.
They've done too much damage to their career. I don't think it would be a huge hit, and that's just, it's just the sad reality of it, and that's also why I think it's taken so long for it to get off the ground. But I feel like they've waited too long. I will watch it. I will love it. I will watch it. I can't wait for it. I just feel like the ship maybe has sailed a little bit on that, but
He's
I
not
can't
the
wait for
he's
it.
not the cocky asshole that he used to be, Mel Gibson.
Well,
as
he's
a
gotta-
cop, as a cop,
he's
it's
got to
like,
play that character. Well, Todd, he's an actor. He's got to slip back into that character.
I know, but it's just not the same because he was the ladies' man. All
No,
this
you're
stuff.
you're
It's just
thinking,
like,
you're like, well, he's gonna play it like Drag Me Across Concrete, or it's like, no, like he hasn't played Martin Riggs in 25 years. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt that he can do that. I just think it's probably too little, too late. But whatever. Yeah, that's a great one. It's funny that wasn't even on my list, but that Dirty Harry rolled right into it because that's also Warner, and they do that same stuff with everything else. So, how many more do you have?
I have a couple more. So this one, of course, everybody knows. Nightmare on Elm
yeah.
Street.
Dude, yeah.
I mean, this is
Who's that autograph by?
Leslie Dean.
Oh,
She says Kung Fu this bitch. She was.
why'd you
She
get
was
that?
at
You don't even like that scene, that set though. Why don't you waste money and get
part.
that signed by Robert?
I didn't spend any money. I was at a concert,
Oh,
at a bar, and I was like, "Hey, Leslie Dean's the singer. I'll just get her to sign it." So
did you just recognize her on stage, or did you know she was going to be there?
no. Lush was friends with her, so I went to the bar. I met him up there and watched her band or whatever. So
Did they
I just
suck?
got her sign it. I don't remember them, so I'm sure they do.
Yeah. Well, Riverman and I. Okay, really quick side note. Riverman came out last year to go to the convention that we're hitting up, and I took some footage and I never did anything with it. That's my bad. I should still
Oh
have it.
yeah, that was some
But-
good stuff too.
Yeah, and I still have it. So, but anyway, Todd's coming out here. We're gonna go to the Mad Monster Party AZ, and we're gonna go meet Robert England. We're gonna get some stuff signed. So we'll have to do more footage, and we'll do something with it this time. I wish I had a DSLR. I don't. It's probably just gonna be more phone footage, but it'll be good. We'll have to make it work.
We might have to sneak a video because I don't know if he's anal about that. Or
He doesn't allow pictures at the booth. You have to get the VIP experience. So
gotcha.
you will have to be snuck. But we'll just have to walk by after we've gotten our stuff signed or whatever and get some
That's the only thing I'm
footage.
getting signed too. I mean, he's so expensive, but it's like he's not gonna be doing any more, much more. I mean,
No, that's what I'm saying. Like I was like, Todd, you got to come out, man, because
yeah,
he's got to be on the way out. And then
yeah,
Alex Winter's going to be there too. It's going to be super tempting to get something signed, Bill and Ted. I
yeah,
have that like I told you, I got that Shout Factory poster that came with my Bill and Ted 4K.
yeah.
Like maybe I'll just take that and get that signed.
Should.
But I mean, I'm sure he'll have 8x10s too. But there's some cool people at that. We'll have to document it where we can. But anyway, side note on that. Uh, what did you? What would you say? Did I? Oh, you said Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah,
Um, I have five more. I'll kind of blow through them here.
I have three.
Okay, you have three. So let me knock out one. Okay, I don't really know if these movies need a 4K release. I just put them on here because it's like, why not? I don't know if they really benefit from a 4K release. Maybe if you like put them in a box set, they might attract some type of like nostalgia factor. The Ernest movies.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Why? Like, there's obviously bad Ernest movies, but give us the cream de la creme. Give us Ernest Goes to Camp, Ernest Scared Stupid. I guess you'd have to throw in Saves Christmas in there since it's from the same era, but I
Yeah,
don't really
yeah.
like that one. And give us Ernest Goes to Jail, the chef's kiss of the series. Put them in a box set. I will buy them. Now these had Blu-ray releases, really old Blu-ray releases.
I think they're out of
Uh,
print now, aren't they?
oh yeah. They go for a lot. I have Scared Stupid in Jail.
Mm. Those
Maybe I
are
should
like
sell them.
$5 bin Walmart
Yeah,
back in the
back in the
day.
day. I wonder
Yeah.
how much I can get for them. Maybe I should sell them, raise money for the movie. I forgot about them. But you know, but yeah, I don't know what's going on with that property. Who owns it? I don't know if this will ever see. But once again, if they put out a 4K set, it's just going to appeal to old men like us who grew up with it because Ernest has been dead for so long. There's no kids today that know Ernest. Um, I don't even know if like Gen Z knows Ernest, let alone or I don't
Probably
know if
not.
millennial. Yeah, but it'd be cool. I think Ernest Scared Stupid. I think I also put that on my list of introductory horror movies for kids. Ernest Scared
Yeah,
Stupid. It's a
yeah.
great
I'll
one.
have to show my kids that this year.
James Long put Debbie Does Dallas on 4K. Absolutely. Why not? Debbie does 4K. Debbie does high def. Debbie does UHD.
See every
You get,
pockmark.
there you go. Every ass pimple.
Yeah.
Why don't you put? It reminds me of China doll. Put China's homemade porn movie on 4K. You could see like, never mind. She had like this. Howard Stern was making fun of that. Like, oh, it's the grossest thing I've ever seen. But it's acne all over her ass. It's just like anyway. What's your next one?
So this one, I don't know if it really needs a 4K, but because the Blu-ray looks phenomenal, but I want to see if they can do anything more with it. Taxi Driver.
I feel like that's just a matter of time.
Yeah, if they came out
That's
like
a
a nice box set, this digibook's cool, but I think
and
they can even do they can even do better. I think.
and it's a great 4K. I'm sorry, it's a great Blu-ray. It's great
Yeah,
transfer.
yeah,
It looks great. But Criterion has put out Raging Bull. Just yeah, that just seems like a Criterion type movie. But
yeah.
there's a lot of Scorsese movies that are swept under the rug. Like why doesn't King of Comedy get a release? Um, oh, After Hours is getting a release,
Did,
right?
yeah. Is that 4K? Maybe.
Yeah, it's getting a Criterion.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Criterion
Okay, yeah, yeah.
4K.
I remember that. Okay, yeah,
Yeah, and I that's a great movie, but very
yeah.
underlooked. But it blows me away that like that, yeah. But I think it's a matter of time. You'll get Taxi Driver. Um, I'm gonna save my last three. I'm gonna say the next one. I feel like we'll get eventually. It's possible, but they always treat it like the redheaded stepchild compared to the first one. But where's Home Alone 2?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They always do. It's like, and then they eventually kind of package them together like they did on Blu-ray. But we got a 4K release. It's been a few years since we got the 4K of Home Alone 1. You would have thought at the very least 2 would have followed the next year, but
Yeah.
where's 2? It's owned by the same people that put out the first one.
Just as good as the first one, even though I like the first one better. But
what's keeping Fox? There's like no
Mm.
rights hold up. It just doesn't make any sense.
No,
But
that's a great one, man. I agree with you.
well, and then you know what? As a bonus, really alley oop really quick because I want to save my last three for the. I know they just released Rocky 1 through 4 on 4K. I refuse to buy those because they're steel books, but the covers are fucking dog shit.
Yeah, yeah.
They look like shit. I'm like, and they're releasing 1 through 4, but there's no 5 or 6. Like
Why? Where? Yeah,
where I'm not falling for this. I don't know what's going on, but
yeah.
as like, are they going to come out 5 or 6 and they're not going to be uniform with the shitty steel books they put out? I'm going to wait till another box set. I'm going to wait till another release or another box set whenever they get whatever's tying up those two movies. Whenever they work it out, because like the Rocky movies they took forever to come to any kind of 4K. So that's why it
Mm.
was tempting. But I'm like, dude, I've waited so long for Rocky on 4K, and this is what you give me. You give me an incomplete set. I'm just not having it. And it's just kind
That's
of a bummer.
ridiculous.
There's something going on there, and but just release a box set, release a steelbook box set like the Rambo one. I regret not getting that. I would have loved to have had that Rambo steelbook set, but
Yeah,
I already bought them a la carte with slips, dirt cheap, like $8 a pop. So
yeah. I don't blame you.
no, and then they announced the steel books, but that's the business we're in now too. Is like everything's going to get a steel book like 6 months after they come out with it. So it's like they're just looking to ring you out. But anyway, how many more do you got?
Two more. So
Okay,
my
go,
oh, go ahead.
go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
So my next one is I think somebody mentioned it in the chat earlier. I think it was Blocko. But he said he showed his kid this for the first
Oh
time. Blair
yeah,
Witch,
Blair Witch. That is
which is this old artisan Blu-ray, old
why
shitty
is
one
it?
from like
Oh
the, early two
yeah.
thousands. It's something they can come out with a nice set for. I don't understand why they haven't.
But does
Lionsgate,
it
of course,
really need
owns
a
it, but
4K? With it,
I don't know if it needs a 4K, but it needs a decent
but
quality
so you would
transfer
want
in
that
set.
you just want the set on that one.
Yeah,
Because some of these
yeah.
movies I just want a set. I mean, honestly, would be just as good on blue, but at the same time, it's like some of them need it. Um, yeah, I haven't seen that in so many years. All right. I have. You know what? I want to go on a bit. Go ahead and tell us your last one, and then I'm just gonna like finish it off with my last couple.
Okay, so this is one that I think about all the time. I wish they would come out. It's another Warner Brothers movie, and it really ticks me off because one of my favorites from my childhood, me and my
Oh,
brother's favorites, versus Demolition Man.
and I'm so. Are we sure that's not on 4K?
Not on 4K.
Let
It's
me
a
see.
Warner Brothers movie, man. They don't have anything on 4K.
I was. I don't
You're
know
lucky.
why I
You're lucky to
was.
get a Blu-ray from them. You have to have them printed off a la carte, man.
Huh. Interesting. I don't know why I'm having like Mandela effect that got released, but maybe I'm thinking of the Blu-ray. Maybe that took a long time to come out, or I know Cliffhanger got a 4K release.
I think Cliffhanger just did, yeah.
Yeah, and I,
You,
it's fine
you got
because
the
I
whole
don't love.
special features, a commentary, and a theatrical trailer. It's like, give me
Nice.
something more, man.
Yeah, it's bare bones, dude. Nobody gives a shit about special features anymore. They only cared about that when they were trying to shuffle people into the DVD generation. Like giving people were so baked into VHS for the longest time, they had to really give people an excuse to
It's
switch
one of
over.
Stallone's best, though. I mean, come
It
on.
is. It's hilarious. Yeah, it's too bad. I would include that as well. My I have a few. Two of them are going to be obvious for me. One of them probably not, but it's a big head scratcher because it would print money. It makes no sense. Okay, but the first one, this isn't the head scratcher. Where is Mortal Kombat 1995 on 4K? Damn it!
Yeah, I
Where,
would
where,
definitely buy that.
where is it now? The Blu-ray looks fantastic.
Who
It
owns the
really
rights to
does.
that? Look it up.
Threshold Entertainments, which would be, I mean, I don't know if like Warner because they've re-released it on Blu-ray, so it's not held up. Maybe it is. Maybe it's reverted all
It's
to
Warner
Warner.
Brothers. It's Warner
Well,
Brothers. That's
well,
why.
well. the original movie, the game was owned by Midway back in the 90s, Midway Arcade, Midway Games, and Threshold Entertainment put out the movie. Now, since then, Warner Brothers bought the IP. I don't know
Yeah.
how far that extends. Warner Brothers puts out the new Mortal Kombat movie, so that tells me they probably bought the movie rights too with the games. But they released a steelbook 2-pack of Mortal Kombat 1 and Annihilation last year, and it was just the same Blu-rays repackaged.
Okay.
Um, which, don't get me wrong, like I said, is a great transfer, but it just blows me away. Like, I would buy that in a heartbeat, especially give me more special features. I would love, even though I feel like I've seen them all. I mean, the Blu-ray is a great bang for your buck if you could still find it, because it's got the featurettes. It's got even though there's more featurettes that you could find online, that I don't know where they came from, that are not on the Blu-ray, and they weren't on the VHS I had back in the day. So there's stuff they can mine to put on this thing, but it's
They
got
have The Journey
featurettes.
Begins on there?
It had The Journey Begins on there. They put
Oh,
that in
okay.
there, which is
That's
all
cool.
marketing. It's a pretty robust Blu-ray, so no complaints there. But with that said, I would absolutely. Warner Brothers was putting 4Ks out of these Mortal Kombat anime movies. They're shitting out every year. They're putting out their fourth one this year, and those are coming to 4K. It's like, I don't
Well,
know why they just don't put out. I
well,
don't
with
need
the game
Annihilation.
coming out, the new game coming out, maybe they'll jump on that
You
and
would
do
have
that.
no, you would have thought when they released their new Mortal Kombat reboot movie, they would have put out the original to market,
Yeah, that's
right?
true.
That would have been the time. And you know what they did? Instead, they put out a steelbook of 1 and 2, and it was a rehash, a Blu-ray. That's it. It was the same discs. So that just shows me how much they care about it. But it blows me away. But I would buy that in a heartbeat, man, a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Um, my next obvious one, TMNT 1 through 3. Put a box set out. I love my pizza box. See, it's you see it right underneath the foot soldier there. It's kind of
Yeah.
on its side. I love that set. It's fantastic. It's really cool. But just I wonder if that's hard to find now, because they ended up putting out really bare bones shitty Blu-rays and like a shitty 3-pack. Like that wasn't around that long. But it's got like a beanie in it and all kinds of stuff. But where is the 4K of this? And the time to put out a TMNT 94K was the 30th anniversary, right?
Yeah.
That happened during COVID, and the whole re-release was pretty much deflated because of COVID. I remember they were trying to make it a big thing, and COVID happened, and they were still running with it, putting it in theaters. And I remember I went, dude. I've told this story, but it would have been a bigger thing, and COVID squashed it. And they had to have like Zoom reunions with the cast, and it was a stupid thing. They cleaned up the movie and they put it out in theaters again, and it looked great. And I remember I Instagram messaged the writer of the movie, who like just he tries to build his whole brand based off like TMNT writer, like he's a one trick pony or
Yeah.
whatever. And I he was doing like some podcast interviews and shit like that, talking about it, hyping it up. We're doing this big thing, and he's from here. He lives in the valley, and I asked him. I said, hey, I'm gonna go attend the show. I'm gonna go attend a showing at this theater in like Glendale or wherever I went. I said, are you going to go to, because he was talking about, I'm going to make appearances. He said he was going to go to various appearances in the Phoenix area all day long, to different theaters, different showings, to meet people and sign, because it was supposed to be a big thing. And I asked him, I said, hey, which ones are you going to be at? Anyway, so I am this guy, this writer of TMNT, and he said, oh yeah, I'll be at this one, this day, at this time. And I drove to a theater just to see him. I didn't go to the one closest to me, but I went a little further out. And then when I went to the fucking theater, empty. Crickets. Nobody was there. I was the only person in the theater. I was the only person that bought a ticket, and he no showed. Probably because
Oh,
he probably went to a showing. He probably went to a couple, one or two other showings that day, and realized, wow, nobody's coming out to these. I'm not going to embarrass myself.
yeah.
Because
That's
and he was going to bring
that's what
merch and
writers
stuff.
usually do, right?
And so yeah, I felt ashamed, because I'm like, man, the presentation was so great, the movie was great, they cleaned it up so great, and I'm sitting here by myself, and it didn't feel any different than when I saw it on like a classic Tuesday nights, because you know when they replay movies, it felt the same. I'm like, this is what is going on? Where are all the people? And but I don't blame him. It would have been really awkward if I went there and I was the only one that came and he was there, like, hey, what's up? Like, hi, you want to
Well,
watch
you
the
sit
movie
there and
with
talk
me?
to her for an hour. Yeah.
I mean, but that would have been embarrassing. Like, it would have been embarrassing for him, and it would have been awkward for me. And I would have
Be
been
like a
like,
date,
well,
dude.
like, how much merch do you want me to buy from you to make this gas, make up your gas money for this? Uh, but it was pretty embarrassing. It's sad, and it was just mostly COVID. But anyway, and my last one, which I don't know why they don't put these out because they would just print money. Why are there no Studio Ghibli 4Ks? I mean, really, you can be a fan of the movies or not, but the fan base is massive and they just still have Blu-rays. And I know they have like something with Disney because like Disney distributes them in America. They're not Disney, but if you the Steelbook 4Ks they have out that go for a pretty penny. Like they're not cheap. They all have got the Disney branding on them, which is kind of sour. But that's just a U.S. distribution thing. But why, dude? If they put out a 4K box set for a premium dollar figure, their fans would buy it.
Oh, I'm
They would
sure.
they would
Yeah.
just print money, and I would buy some of them. Absolutely, I think those movies are really fantastic, really fantastic. And I would have, and I've never bought any of them because why would I? It's like I'm not going to buy Blu-rays. I am not going to buy these Blu-rays in the 2023 because
Oh, come on, you snub. Who cares?
I just wouldn't.
I
I
still
just
buy. I still buy Blu-rays.
guess what? The second you buy a Blu-ray like that, 4K comes out.
Oh, I
I
don't
just
care. I'm not gonna
I
upgrade anyway.
I'm
Then
just
I just be
not.
like, oh, I saved myself $15.
I just don't understand though, Mendoza. Like you'd think from a money standpoint, why would they not want to shake that money tree? It just blows me away. But yeah, that was my last one.
They're out of touch.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it's so funny. Todd walked out right at the end of our talk. That's okay. We had more of a natural
Drum
segue
roll.
here. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna end the show as normal, and we're gonna do choose your destiny. And this time it's Todd. Now, last time Todd did it, I hope he shook it up a little bit because last time he pretty much just did the same theme as I did the first time. So we kind of focused on like pinups, and then I did a music related one last week, which I think
Oh,
was
you
kind of.
did. Oh, whoops. Okay.
Are you serious,
Whoops.
Todd?
I did a musical related one.
God, is this how creative you are? You like subconsciously ripping mine off?
What did we do last week? I can't remember.
Phil and Selmo albums. We did Far Beyond versus Down Nola.
Oh yeah.
Which one's the
Right.
top
Okay.
Phil album?
I
It's
don't know
so
why I was thinking.
funny.
I've been listening to a lot of music this week, so it's like I don't know.
That's the way he was on week 2, where he's like, "Oh, really? I just been thinking about a lot about pinup girls and Girl Next Doors. You know, it's just like playing in his brain. All right, what is it? Choose your destiny. Well, I swear. So next week I'll get creative and do something vastly different. Expect it for 2 straight weeks because Todd's just gonna do
I'll
the same
rip it.
thing.
I'll rip it off.
I love the amount of work Todd's putting into this. Okay, choose
I
your
am
destiny.
putting. I am putting a lot of
Okay,
work into this.
all
Come
right.
on. You couldn't name that keynote, so I'm putting a lot of work into it, baby.
Choose my destiny. Let's see how much work we put into this. Let's see how hard it is.
Okay.
$1 Billion Babies versus Welcome to My Nightmare. What is it?
Let's see. Okay. So new metal debut albums.
Okay. I appreciate it. I like it. Like I said, I wish it wasn't music related, but this is a good one, I must admit. In fact, I think I suggested this as a topic, like best new metal albums. Todd has sort of extracted this in me. This one is easy for me. Of course, the new Slipknot, the first Slipknot album is the one that like launched a whole scene and it propelled them into superstardom. And I've over the years I liked the first Slipknot more and more. But when that first album came out, for years and years and years, I attested that there's only a few songs I love on it, and then Iowa I loved half of it, and then Volume 3 I love the whole thing. As I've gotten older, I like just about all of Iowa. I would still say there's a few tracks on the first Slipknot album I can do without. LD50 is god tier new metal. LD50, and they whereas Slipknot to me got better and better, Mudvayne just fucking dropped off after this record.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
this
This is their
record
only good record, in my
this record
opinion.
is amazing, and it's not even just uh, new metal is a label. Like this was they were a cut above everyone else, and the only really thing that kept them on that label was the hey we're gonna do the makeup shock rock thing that's popular, and for all we know that was just like a marketing thing because that's what was hip at the time. But this is like I've always said that they had two very clear paths they could have taken after the success of this album, and unfortunately they chose the wrong path. The wrong path would
The commercial
be
pop.
turn because okay, this album was like proggy. It had the modern metal thing, very mathy, very crazy. They could have really leaned into that more, and I feel like if they would have, they would be seen more like Tool today, right? They would have evolved into more of a. They could have evolved more progressive rock like and really leaned into the technicality and their weirdness. And I think today they would be more respected. They would be seen like a Tool because Tool transcended the alt genre, the alt rock. They were Tool came out at the same time as Rage Against the Machine and
Mhm.
sort of that mid '90s wave. Um, and they really separated themselves out. Like when you listen to Undertow, it's alt rock. It's just like power chords. It's pretty rock. It still sounds like Tool, but they haven't really become Tool or become progressive and become weird. It's a little bit more straightforward. But they had Sober, and Sober. If you listen to that on Undertow, that is giving you a hint of what's to come in Anima, right?
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
that's really the only track on there that kind of like hints at Anima. Kind of like how you listen to Cowboys from Hell from Pantera, and if you listen to Primal Concrete Sledge, that's the bridge between that album to what's to come to On Vulgar,
Mhm.
right? Because
Mhm.
everything else is a little bit more cock rocky, more Judas Priest, and they even say that. It's like, well, you listen to, when we recorded the Cowboys from Hell album, those are the songs we've been gigging with for like 1 and 2 years. And by the time we recorded the album, we were a little tired of the tracks. And Primal Concrete Sledge was the only track we wrote new in the album, so it represented where our mind was at the time. And it's the only one that's dropped in tuning, kind of like Vulgar. They dropped the drop D, and it's got that kind of like almost a new level kind of riffing, and then that breakdown. It's flirting with what we're gonna get. Tool did that too. uh they should have took that and ran with it, and we would have had just I think we would have had a band that was like Deftones where they outgrew new metal labels and they evolved into now they're just Deftones, right? Now it's just like, oh, Deftones are their own thing, they got their own niche carved out. That would have been Mudvayne, but instead they chose the path of the loser, as the mayor on Doug would say. uh and they chose to go the Nickelback, hey, let's make fucking butt rock, radio
Yeah.
butt rock. They turned into fucking Godsmack and
Yeah.
Disturbed, and now we had like Happy,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And
Shit. Yeah.
forget. And I'm
Terrible.
not saying some of those songs aren't kind of catchy or whatever, but like no, they chased the radio rock, and man, that sucks because that first album is so good. I like to think they died and they just released one record.
And see, I have mixed feelings about this record because part of me really likes it, but part of me, I don't know. I don't get it. Like I think it's very unique. Um, but the thing is, this Slipknot self-titled is what basically got me into this LD50. So I mean, I could say Slipknot was probably my favorite new metal band. Of course, I love like Limp Bizkit, Korn, stuff like that. But when I think of new metal, I think of Slipknot. Um,
Sean Crahan produced LD50 Clown.
oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, he like signed him and got him going. Um, yeah, I
But
mean,
there's something about the self-titled that I don't know. I can remember going into Best Buy and overhearing one of the employees telling another kid that was looking at this album. He's like, "What's this album?" He's like, "Man, these guys are gonna be freaking huge." He's like, "This album is amazing. You need to listen to this." And I'm just like, "Huh?"
It's
Got
great.
my attention.
It's groundbreaking.
Yeah.
It's absolutely groundbreaking, and they were the band that really transcended the genre and just became Slipknot. And remember, Slipknot 1999 is when this album dropped. It really didn't blow up until like fucking 2000. And you know they were riding that wave. They were kind of, but then by 2003, new metal was dead.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Slipknot survived it, and they got even bigger with Volume 4, and that came out
Yeah.
in 2004. And then they started riding the new wave of American heavy metal. Like
Yeah.
they somehow got a pass to just slide into a new movement, and they were going on tour with like the Lamb of God and Shadows Fall and this whole new movement, and they were like being considered as part of that too. It's like they had one foot in each one because they came out right at the tail end of the '90s. So I don't know. I just think they're Slipknot. And yeah, as years have gone by, I love the album more and more. It's really charming. It's really raw. Obviously, it's got Spit, Eyeless, these are great. Spit It Out's one of my favorites. I love Spit It Out. Spit It
Yeah.
Out, if you're on a treadmill, dude, forget about it. Spit It Out makes you run 3 times faster. There's something about it. And live, it's great. But yeah, no, it's a great album. I'm not shorting it. I am just gonna give it to LD50. I'm gonna let them have it because they never had another album that comes close to a Slipknot album. So I'm gonna let them have
That's
this one
okay.
victory.
Okay. That's I can understand where you're coming from there.
I mean, but dude, I mean, go over the. Hold on, got to go over the Mudvayne tracks really quick. This would be a fun kind of episode to do sometime, like where you take 2 albums that are kind of similar, and then you make them beat down track by track. Like,
Do a
okay,
tier
who had
list.
no, like, okay, no, take it down track by track where it's like, okay, we're gonna do Slipknot self-titled versus Mudvayne LD50. Let's really compare them. Okay, go track by track. Their track one versus, because they both have openers,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Mhm.
So okay, they have the numbers, right? You asked me, I think it's sick. The whole thing, I think it's sick. The whole thing, but then Mudvayne has the Kawato, open your mouth,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
whole thing. So you compare those, and then you'd be like, okay, and they both lead into their real starting track, and you'd go, okay, well, who has the best? And you have Sick versus Dig,
Oh, God,
right?
that's tough, dude.
But I'm just saying that's the way you treat that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You really do a showdown track to track to track. But you'd have to, it would only work if you had 2 similar albums that had a similar flow, right?
Mm.
Like, for example, something like 1984, the last David Lee Roth Van Halen album versus Sammy Hagar, his first record. And it's like, okay, I could see the comparisons, but I could see doing these 2 albums like that. But I'm going to look up these, dude. Okay, yeah, it opens with Monolith, which is that Open Your Mind, goes into Dig, which is classic.
Mm.
Internal Primates Forever is awesome. Negative
Mm.
One, Death Blooms, Nothing to Gain, dude. Fucking Everything and Nothing is awesome. Awesome. Severed, Prod's fucking amazing. Prod sounds like God, they're like the next Tool. Pharmacopoeia, dude, he goes batshit in the middle of that song. I just, yeah, it's a timeless record. To me, it doesn't sound new metal to me. It sounds like they were just getting labeled. It's kind of like Linkin Park, where they were really their own thing and they had to break out. And I want this on vinyl real bad. If I
I
can
think
ever,
it's on vinyl, isn't it?
I don't, I haven't, I've looked, I haven't been able to find it for a decent price. If it is, but if it is, I'm gonna get weak real fast because I fucking love it. But
Yeah,
you
and
picked self-titled, right?
I picked self-titled. I listened to both of them again today, which I haven't listened to LD50 in years, and I was pleasantly surprised how much I actually enjoyed it as much as I did when I was younger. So,
I kind of
um,
wish they never had the makeup gimmick.
yeah, it's kind of cringe, but
That compared them to Slipknot constantly, right? You know what I mean? That whole
well, the
thing.
mask thing's cooler than a freaking makeup job
Well, it's just at the time, the
in
fact that
2000.
it was just riding a wave, and like I said, it was all for marketing. I just think, and they ditched the makeup with their second album, but
Yeah.
then they started sucking more. Like, what the
Mm.
fuck? But I'm just saying they never needed it. I kind of would have preferred them to, but it's fine. I'm just looking at the music. Aside from, yeah, the aesthetic, the cover, the what they look like, all that was very 2000 or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But I try to look beyond that. You could look at the inserts of the first two Deftones records, and they're just a product of the times too. They got like the big fat jeans, they got like frosted tips in their hairs and shit like
Yep.
that, and they got the fucking puka. It's just that's the old. I think there's less of a subgenre thing, and it's really just fashion, right? Because like a lot of the new metal bands, they don't really sound the same. It's just the fashion people implement too. It's
Yeah.
fashion. It's like same thing with like the skinny jean era, the scene kid stuff. It's what they look like. The new metal is fashion, but and then of course you have like the '80s. I mean, for all you know, your grandma might look at Skid Row and not think they're any different than Motley Crue, which I think they're very different.
Yeah.
Or they could look at Metallica with ripped jeans and hair and think they're the same as Mr. Big, which also had long hair and that jeans. And it's just fashion, which make people lump stuff into like a decade or an era. But yeah, no, that was a good one. I judged because it was music again.
I've been
But
on a big music kick lately, man.
it was a good one. It was a good one. But you're forcing me to really shake it up next week.
Okay.
And I will do that. But that was a good one, and I've actually long wanted to. I think that would be a good idea to explore that type of show though, like a clash, like a thing like that, to do it a little
I
differently.
I definitely want to do a new metal show because it seems, of course, new metal is starting to come back, which
Yeah,
I'm all for. But
I mean,
I think people would enjoy it too.
like most stuff, there's good everywhere, and
Yeah.
but like most stuff, most of it's shit. Most new
Yeah.
metal is shit,
Yeah.
but
I
the
agree.
Pioneer records, I mean, it's not like super creative or outside of the box thinking, but the best albums that are held in high regard are the best new metal albums,
Yeah.
right? There's not a lot of new metal deep cuts for me, because all the deep cuts are like fucking Flaw and a bunch of rip-off
Yeah.
bands that
Yeah. Yeah.
suck. But no, I would love it. There's definitely great records there. But that's it. We're gonna go ahead and wrap up. We appreciate you joining us. Remember, I'll update it next week, but now we're doing Thursdays at 8 p.m. Central Time, and we'll let you know what next week's episode is. But you can join us live Thursdays for everybody. And if you can't make it, no big deal. An abridged, edited version of the show will always go up the next week. I don't know. Should I make those still go up on Tuesdays, or should I make change that to Thursdays too? I guess they can go up on Tuesdays
You
still.
go to Tuesday. Yeah. Yeah.
We'll see. But anyway, yeah, and like I said, we're on Rumble now. So if anybody there's on Rumble, please make sure you're following us on Rumble. Help us out. If you guys are watching us on YouTube and for some reason you have a Rumble, you like to follow Ben Shapiro or whatever, and you happen to have one, give us a follow on there. And help us out. Leave comments, leave likes in the videos, all that good stuff. Help us with the algorithms and help us discover new audiences, all that good stuff. And if you did want to support us any extra, we do have a Patreon. We've linked that everywhere below. But that's all we got. We'll catch you guys next week. Bye.